too fast, and even for Mountains, it just doesn't feel good to try and go for Gato this early on in the game.
The moment Untitled win is the moment that Siska is able to join in the fight. So Munster against Siska, I feel like this is the matchup that we really have to look out for, because if Munster doesn't join the fight, I think it's still fine. Oh, Kimin gets on to Skyzar. Skyzar is going to get kicked, but using the Purify. But that's good info for Jaja. The only reason he didn't get a turtle was that he got knocked up. So a little bit less to worry about.
Oh, another flicker lost out of Storm early on in the fight. Yeah, again, as much as you can see Untitled wanted to go for this, they really can't sit on it.
Look at that, Rossi trying to zone people away. Same as Munster. Munster gets onto SkyZ, but overall Jaja still secures the turtle. Siska gets killed onto Madines, and now it looks like the real world manipulation not going to stop Munster, but still the double kill goes over to Siska. And like I said, that's how they win the fight. Siska needs to be involved.
Beautiful, beautiful. That's exactly what they want. But wait, the invasion's not over yet. Kimin!
Taking much more damage than I think he was bargaining for.
What?
Hey, sometimes you don't want confidence. Sometimes you want to doubt yourself, you know?
Yeah, I don't know, because
maybe people need to make him feel a bit insecure. Either way, he does right now.
Ooh, what was the call there? I mean, yes, it doesn't sound like a bad idea to go for the invasion of that purple buff, but like Storm knows that I can't really get out of these fights. Like, you're asking me to come with you to die, and that's not something that he wants to do anyways. The lane swap is pretty good, however. Skyzar was able to get a good chunk of plating before it timed out. At this point, with being on opposite sides of the map, I think that Untitled need to start adjusting as well, right? Skyzar even using his ult again, just to clear waves really, really fast. He's playing super uninteractive.
Maima now having the glowing wand, able to deal with Siska if he becomes a problem, but I think it's going to be difficult for Maima to actually pin him down. For GMX, looks like Rossi gets a kick here over to Jaja. Jaja throws, and then use every single dash, gets out of there. Imagine if that was a Lunox. Maybe they'll get a kill.
I don't know. I don't think that's stolen.
Why don't they get a bursty hero?
I don't know, dude. I really don't know. But they want to just set up for SkyZ. At the end of the day, no way of the dragon. They're able to get in and out of these fights, and that's totally fine because now they have a potential setup for a dive on that top side. I think they should do it.
Already taking down the minions. At least they're not going to be able to push.
Oh, yeah. Not yet.
Not yet, yeah.
Not yet, at least. But for now, Siska, he's got a bit of a... Oh, actually, he can actually commit to the ult.
Try to 1v1. Oh, Skyzar
he's in trouble. He's dead.
And now, yes, he gets taken down. It was almost cool.
It was almost cool.
Almost cool, but this is Siska on the Lapu.
Yeah. I mean, worse yet, if Skyzar had Flicker, he could have outplayed that. But with Purify, you're kind of like, oh, no.
Yep. Right now, Traction Pulse pulls 2. Jaja gets the turtle. That's fine. And then Real World Manipulation gives over the kill over to Skyzai, which is definitely needed after he gets that Sky Piercer. But Jaja looks like he's going to get targeted, but should be fine. Should be fine.
Storm, he's playing it well. He got a really good position on that RWM. Didn't get punished, and now even he's being more careful about Jaja than anything else because now Jaja's sights are turning towards who are the big setters. Where can I sneak in my damage? Siska no flicker, so he can't guarantee the kill on towards Maima's side. But more importantly, I think that Kimin, now he's allowed to scale. Now he can start frontlining with a little bit of backup to give him extra confidence.
Munster is doing quite an okay job, but he has to be careful because if he loses this one, they're going to say EXP diff. Siska is 4-0-0 and he's 1-3-0. And again, he's doing his job. It's not that he's not doing his job.
It's just very different roles in the game, right? One is the zone, the other one is like, if you can kill, that'd be great. And now, they're going to have to, you know, chill for just a little bit. If they can find, who are they looking for? Do they want to set up the scenario of kicking Jaja again? Or do they want to shift their attention towards the...
Honestly, looking at the draft right now, I'm worried if they kick anyone, they just don't have the damage. Well, they just don't have the draft for it, you know?
I mean, Siska is nearby. I mean, SkyZ right now, currently, what? 2 stacks? 2 big stacks of Sky Piercer. He probably needs like 4 to 5 before he gets like really consistent damage. I say damage, but I mean execution. Anyways, right now, Jaja does have that endless battle. It has to be in the back of their minds that no matter how good of a game SkyZ it has, Jaja could be a nightmare for him. And now look at this, Jaja goes on to Storm. There's no real protection. He has to flicker just to protect himself. They cancel the RWM
here now. Jaja looks like he's gonna get taken down by Skyza. Skyza gets another kill, and now a kick over to Madins. Double kill for Skyza. Skyza has that 4-stack, and now make it 5-0-2. Untitled looking much better than the game before.
That's exactly what Untitled was looking for. Again, Jaja, he was overextending, but he was feeling a little too confident this time, finally getting punished, and Storm outplays him with a flicker. Luckily, is able to get the RWM after all the resources are out. Now, GMXK have to heavily rely on their late scaling to carry them through this game, because Untitled finally are in a position where they can start threatening for inhibitors.
Right now, Sky's shoulders is going to be pretty hard right now, because 5-0-2. If he dies, half the stack is gone. And you know he wants that 8-stack, right? 80 points there kind of wins you most team fights, unless Jaja just has a godly engage and then full hits combo onto you. Either way, a lot of stress is onto Jaja and Skyza right now. This is different roles, but they're definitely the rivals. They're definitely the enemies of both sides.
Oh yeah, and now as they start to pressure, these T2s should inevitably fall. They're not putting too much pressure onto that mid-tier 1 just yet, but I feel like right now, Untitled, if they can get, I don't know, there's still the Holy Shielding to worry about. Alright, just break open that mid-tier 1, get access to enemy jungle, because Jaja's already at level 14 in comparison to Keeman, who's been giving up a lot of his farm.
Right now, Storm in position to think about using the RWM. So far, I thought Akimi was going to get punished, but not so far. Should be fine here. They got that, but again, in 2 minutes it's going to expire anyways.
Yeah, it is going to expire, and I think, ooh, really nicely played by Jaja, because he's just looking for these proxies. We'll see whether or not he can outplay the scenario still. Phantom Execution, and even Keeman trying to cut off his space.
Yep, but now, no rolling here. He should be able to get away. He still has a lot of dashes. Oh, maybe not enough. Maybe, oh, maybe no. Oh my goodness, guys, that still gets the kill. Did he have ult?
He did have ult. He just got it after that last dash, but the problem is that he was going to die anyway, right? I mean, there's still a bit of channel time, and he was just too low. Skyzet, the big executioner, I think he knew at that point, like, I'm gone, right? I've done as much as I can. I've actually protected, unironically protected mid-tier 2 just because of the proxy that he was going for in the back lines of his enemy team. He will lose the rest of his jungle farm, but that's fine. He's already at level 14, and Keeman is currently at level 12.
Soon he will get that brute force. Rossi, invisible right now, kicks over at Madins. Not sure if this is the right target. Munster from behind. Munster gets onto Skyzet as well as Storm, and now the AOG hits onto no one. He just wants to get onto Skyzet, but now Skyzet gets another kill. Unstoppable for Siska. Good idea coming in from Munster, but just doesn't have enough backup to secure the kill.
That was a force that made a lot of sense for Untitled. They have the lead in their hands. They're about to convert it into that 5K that they've been looking for so long. But more importantly, these ult and battle spells are gone before the Lord is about to spawn. So with mid-tier 2 down, Untitled have a really good opportunity, assuming they can zone Jaja out, and don't let him steal this.
If Untitled wins this one, I think they're actually going to be really upset. Because they're like, we could have done this game number 1, guys. Like, what happened, guys?
Guys, I know that we had a rough morning, but this is unacceptable.
Shut up, Morty.
Shut up.
Shut up, Morty.
Rick, this is not the way that it's supposed to go, Rick.
Right now, Rossi, he does have eyes on Jaja. So Jaja does, like, a bit paranoid here. Munster is far away. They should know that he is there. Rossi gets onto Jaja.
They need to start rushing it now. They need to force a reaction because they're going to lose a top tier 1 if they don't do anything. However, with broken walls, right, they're pulling it towards the bottom side. That's exactly what they want. They need the open area for Jaja to kind of leave himself ready to die at any point. Reset, beautiful, just like that.
Yep, kick didn't connect as he wanted to. The Lord was reset a bit. Siska Brave a spider onto no one. Skyzet gets a kill onto Madins. Jaja tries to make the hero play, but double kill. Skyzet secures it. Oh my god!
You're joking!
No way!
You're joking!
It's not gonna matter that much, Gideon, but
that just bought the 5 minutes. Camera should have zoomed in on Skyzet's face, and they're gonna lose top tier 2 for this as well. Everything that could have gone wrong despite playing it perfectly, up till that very last second. Oh no!
Oh, like,
oh no!
That was, dude. That was okay. Here's the thing. If this is not for playoff live, it would be funny.
It would be fun. It would have been
It's like
funny.
the chain of events. Okay, that happened. Rossi tried to get a kick. Munster already using the Purify. He saw the Purify already used, and he still waited the Dragon. Didn't have. He almost died. He had to use Flicker.
It hurts.
no.
It hurts. Look at Skyzar. He's so proud of himself. He knows it as well. Like, I've ruined Untitled at this point.
No, he would look at him and it's like, I planned to do that.
All part of the plan.
I knew that shot was going to get the Lord.
Oh, dude. Oh, that,
You know what Leslie say, right? One shot, one kill. Actually, no, that's Franco.
oh,
It should be Leslie, but still.
it really should be Leslie, to be fair. Good lord.
Skyzet must be fuming. He's like,
He probably is, because that was their best opportunity to actually close out this game. Because now we come to a point where Munsters has scaled significantly. Mott Deans is actually a problem. Skyzar almost at full build at this stage of the game, and he can start to look to one-shot Skyzet without much counterplay from Skyzet's side other than his flicker.
I hope there's no loser interview if Untitled loses, because I think there's a lot of questions that our host is going to ask.
Pain.
Here's the thing. If they lose, Kimin, you're not going to hear the end of it.
Oh,
Facebook is not going to be nice to you. I recommend maybe try Go X for a while.
yeah. Go to the Everything app, right? Good lord, Skyzar.
Maybe Reddit. Reddit is toxic, but hey, they're not going to... Reddit doesn't chase after Kimin. They have other targets.
They do have other targets, and I think that unfortunately out of all the social medias that Mobile Legends actually has, the smallest community is the Reddit community, but they're also unironically pretty active there.
Yeah, they're active, yeah.
Like every single time I go, like, just
but
to delve
they watch
into it.
PH and ID,
Yeah, sometimes.
If SRG plays, maybe, but
Yeah, that's
right?
also true. That's also true. But then it really just shows the demographic on Reddit. Hey, shout out to the Redditors, MLBB Redditors out there. 20 seconds left still. Still have to worry about that. Because again, let's see whether or not GMXK is going to steal another Lord.
Hey, remember what I said during the draft when they pick up the Natan? What if it goes 18, 19 minutes again? Jaja pops off. And then at that point, Skyzar can just do whatever he wants. He's 0-2-0 right now, but he feels like an MVP.
He really does. I mean, he's scaled. He's fine.
Oh my
what?
goodness. Okay,
What?
the tilt is real. Came in, tries to get. He didn't even get the jump out to anyone. No one was stunned.
Look, it's high-level gameplay. When you think he's going to juke, he stands still and walks in straight lines. That's how you mess with pro players.
He's like, if this was Stormy, he would have moved this way. That's my. Oh no, Siska taking a lot of damage.
Wait.
Oh, Skyzar's gonna get taken down. Kimi actually secures the kill.
Oh!
And now good stun. Maima still gets away. Gets the shutdown. Rossi has to flicker for that one. Now nothing can go wrong for Untitled.
Siska said, "I'll do it myself. I'll do it my goddamn self." We got rid of Skyzar. Now it's just Jaja who might be able to steal this. He won't be able to get there in time, but they gotta rush it. Please, dear God, rush it fast, please.
There's no ways.
Please rush it fast. Okay. They zone out Jaja, no opportunity for steal. You can see the PTSD from Rossi. I'ma just kick him, guys, just in case. He's nowhere near, but I'ma kick him.
Oh, Jaja might actually get punished here.
Thorn rolls.
The burn.
Oh!
With one void blast, gets Jaja.
Clips him right at the very edge as well.
Oh, that must have felt good.
Yeah, that's gotta feel real good. Okay, bit of an overextension here. We don't need to be here, boys. Let's calm down for a second as we've already got the Lord by that mid side, and they're gonna crack open this inhibitor like an egg. However, high ground defense, not bad with Skyzar already dropping his ult. Oh, wait!
Yeah, but now look at the Lord still surviving quite well. Skyzar gets Rossi. Still, GMXK, they don't have Jaja just yet. They go for Madin. Madin gets taken down. Good stun coming in from Siska. Jaja is 5 seconds away. Maima and Skyzar still here. Real manipulation clips onto Skyzar. Skyzar moves forward, but still Untitled wins the game. 21 kills to 4. And look at Skyzar's face.
Oh.
So blank. He's just like, what was that?
What happened? What do we do? How do we make this cleaner? 1-1 so far. Untitled still the king of 2-1s at this point. Now setting themselves up for that final game. But GMXK, there's a lot of adjustments that can be done here. They're noticing that Untitled has a bad tendency of overthinking situations, getting very tunnel vision, not having a very wide appeal to what's happening across the map. They saw that they were focusing very much on Jaja, so at least for Matdins, alongside with Maimba, we're getting away with too many things in the middle of these fights.
Happy for Untitled, but with that, there's no more playoff chance for GMXK because they needed to 2-0 this one and the next matchup. But anyway, it might be good for them because now, again, no pressure, nothing to lose. And we see what teams can really do when they have that kind of mindset. We're like, we're not here to win. We're here to make sure that you lose.
Take off the chains, take off the weight, and they become a completely different player. Things that we're hoping to see these players actually learn to adapt more often, especially on that stage, right? That stage makes all the difference in terms of mentality, because sometimes we get these ranked demons come onto the stage and then they just can't do it.
They be puppies.
Yeah, they just lose all of their ferocity.
Might even be female puppies.
Hey.
It's not on YouTube, so it should be fine. But I
had to let that sit for a little bit.
I'm not. You know.
Check yourself.
Hey, you can speak English, right?
Yeah, check yourself. Either way, as we get into this now potentially final game, I don't know whether or not we want to see GMXK back on that blue side. Because again, I feel so far it's very punishable considering that they're now going back to their more traditional default slot for Untitled. They know that they're going to be playing towards their gold laner. They're going to give Siska that Lapu again. So they got to start thinking of the counter matchups as we jump on over to our MVP of this game. No surprises whatsoever. Siska nails it right on the head.
Dude, I got to say, both side laners for Untitled is amazing. And this is why we say they play like AECA, where their mid trio is very good. But at the same time, the hard carries, man, the EXP, the gold laner, a bit of signs of Hiko coming in from SkyZ. Like, I'm liking that we have a team with this kind of personality, with this kind of playstyle.
Yeah, it's the attitude, but right now, it's about kind of opening their eyes to the rest of the map, right? Their eyes to the rest of this game. And Siska, he played a phenomenal Lapu Lapu each and every time. He's getting so much value, finding good solo kills with his flicker available. It feels like he's ever present in the game. It doesn't feel like he ever drops off.
Yep. Now, honestly, like, I'm still worried because even in game, like, almost more worried in games that they're winning. Husky is basically saying Untitled is like Uni, but everyone's Uni. Right? You make all these flashy, unnecessary extra moves, which looks like the owners are agreeing right now. So, hey, maybe Husky's gonna make some people lose their jobs.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. But what do you think about this, right? Coming in from Maimon, that DHS purchase. And he did it in the previous game as well, picking up DHS pretty consistently every single time in comparison to things like we've seen teams go for Concentrated Energy or even Feather of Heaven, depending on the scenario. Most of the time for survivability, but DHS is an interesting purchase.
I kind of feel like there is logic there. Maybe a little bit better for our ability. Like, Kimi does both physical and magic, so that's why it makes sense.
And she gets the on-hit effects as well.
And I feel like in this game it's difficult because there's a lot of dashes coming around, right? Cho, the Granger, as well as the Lapu. Compared to the previous game, going up against Alice, she has a dash, but like you said, the orb moves so slow. During that time, Kimi can free hit. So I kind of feel like this build, like maybe he autopiloted the build, right? Where maybe your idea is take down Kimin, but you gotta save yourself or save Skyzar from the Lapu. So maybe a different choice might be better.
Maybe. I don't know, because either way, I feel like this DHS didn't get as much value as you wanted, because if you want to get the DHS value, you kind of have to be in the perfect spot in terms of like how you're throwing out these autos in the first place. And every single time he gets into that position, people like Rasi, people like Siska, worst yet, he can't outrange Stoem at all, right? RWM Void Blasters, all of which hit him outside of the auto attack range of Maima's Kimi in every single scenario. So I think that maybe for GMXK, go over to red side rather than double down on the blue side, because we've seen that Jaja is able to perform it doesn't necessarily have to be Lancelot.
Yeah.
You could still have access to, well,
Joy.
Joy. He can even play Hayabusa
Yeah.
if necessary. And I think maybe a way to kind of snowball this game out of control might be a likely solution to what Untitled brings to the table.
And now we got to talk about Stove here because he had a good game despite having a lot of, I would say, predators. You know, you got the Kacha, you got the Lancelot, as well as you got the Esmeralda, which, by the way, Munster almost no presence compared to the Uranus, right? So I don't know if that's the case. Maybe they should pick up the Uranus early.
Because
their first 3 picks was the Lance, Gatot into the Kimi. Maybe the Gatot could have been delayed.
Gatot could have been... I don't know if Gatot should be delayed because they already knew they wanted to go for Kimi, right? And I don't disagree that maybe they could switch up what the EXP lane matchup should look like, but the Esmeralda actually does pretty well. Overall, as long as you don't get hit by the stun once you get past level 4, you generally win the lane because we didn't see Siska do anything during the laning phase until he hit level 4. And that's the big issue, right? Because those timings are so important and GMXK have no way to kind of force and fish out the ult from Untitled. Now we look at our Hall of Famers here. Of course, Rich Guy in the carry goes over to Sky's End, basically untouched the entire game. However, our Sandbag and Best Wingman going over to Martins, but the Best Wingman going over to Storm. This RWM was a very good idea, extremely bold despite seeing Gatot on the opposite side.
In this game, they got a lot of kills, 21-4, and overall played pretty well, but they got to make sure that game 3 is flawless. You can't have a random Natan, I even think it was a basic attack, stealing your Lord away. Rossi can't get tilted because we do see that he kind of forced some Wave the Dragons, and it's a good thing that his team didn't trust him. Where if they did, they would just dive in, right?
Who knows? Maybe Rossi was like, guys, don't trust me right now.
Yeah. If it just so happens it's toward you guys, go for it.
Yeah. It's a scary thing, right? Because Untitled, now that they've kind of gotten their warm-up in, they ended with a score of 21-4. These neutral fights, I think, is their weakest point, right? Because every single time we see these fights actually progress, Untitled is still questioning a lot of the movements that they make across the map. And yes, you know, things like these early pickoffs and monsters able to solo killing Storm because they completely disregard the backline. I feel like Untitled feel a little disorganized overall, and this confidence booster should kind of get them back on track in comparison to GMXK, where it feels everything is very intentional, right? A lot of their movements, even for Skies, are going for that early lane swap, knowing that Turtle is going to be spawning on that top side was an initial good move. Probably don't want to 1v1 Siska in lane when he has Flicker, though.
But Kimi does have to step up because if we're being real, he did make a lot of mistakes in this game and the previous one. Because we even saw in the highlights where he was in a position he wanted to steal over the purple. It was not worth it because he did die. And even in the way that I think, even if he does get that purple, but he still dies, I think overall is a net negative. So they got to make sure that the decision making is all good because Kimi does not feel hot today.
Yeah, he is not feeling hot, which is probably why they put him on the Boxia, right? To kind of limit, like,
it's like, how can you mess this up? That's a nice way to see it.
How can you mess this up more so? Let's take away the mechanical aspect of these, you know, really high mechanic heroes like, you know, the Lancelots, the more importantly, the Microwing coming in for things like Gishin Shin, right? At least for Keeman, just don't miss a skill shot, make sure you land your retry, and that should be good enough.
And he doesn't do that.
And he doesn't do that. Which is sad, but hey, everybody has their off day. It's just unfortunate that his off day comes at such high stakes.
Again, I'm saying it from a place of love. I want the players to do well, and the way that you show love to people is that you want them to improve, so you just gotta be honest. You can't sugarcoat it all the time. I mean, like, to be fair, we're saying it nicely. If this was Husky, whew,
he'd be dumping on his chest. He'd just be taking a fat dookie on him.
I feel like Mirko would as well.
Probably. Yeah, probably. Because again,
we're the good dads.
Give or take. Depending on the person, give or take. Because at the end of the day, some of them is pretty unacceptable, right? There are some moments in there where it's like, there's no way you should let that steal actually happen. And some of those boats.
And the thing is, like the boxing one, the one that Natan stole.
Yeah.
He used retry.
Yeah, he did.
You used retry and okay, what?
And still whiffed. He was like, what?
Nice.
He was like, what, 16 damage off or something like that? Or 5 damage off, if I remember correctly. He was going down really, really fast. But GMXK at this point shouldn't feel too down about that game. It's like, okay, mistakes happen. Siska was a little bit of a problem overall, but we also have to make sure that Jaja actually gets to play the game. Because now that they've adjusted and started to figure out what are the key pain points for GMXK, this is where they should start shaking up the draft a little bit more. First pick, going over to GMXK, I think they can go for something else. They still need to get Lancelot within the first phase. Probably not the first pick, though.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Untitled are going to give it to Keeman.
In terms of the bans, they banned the Fredrin, they banned the Arlet, and they banned the 1-1, which I feel like is respectable bans. At this point, I think it's a given that you're gonna fight against the Lapu.
Yes.
And there's a high chance you're gonna fight against the Granger. So they should not be caught with their pants down. I'm thinking, what is gonna be their answer, right?
I think getting something like if they go Granger, that's when you go Kalia Harith, right? You know, force them to take Purifies. Don't let them go for the big outplays. Make them really uncomfortable underneath their tower if you are able to go for the strong push and maybe give them up a little bit of pressure, right? Because artillery mages, as of right now, don't feel too great with so many things that can get into that backline in the first place. Or maybe first pick Lapu.
I'm thinking, honestly, that's good. But the other thing is Skyzar good on a 1-1? Because they're worried about that 1-1, right? Because their first pick here, we got to consider that, yes, they can first pick the Lapu. They might be able to first pick a 1-1 or something else. Because so far, not a lot of answers for this Lapu EXP. The best answer I saw, Gideon, was back in MSC at EWC Grand Finals when Sakai was using the Akai. The Akai seems pretty good at disabling that Lapu. Other than that, whenever a Lapu doesn't do good, it's the player that's not good.
Yep. Again, Lapu's impact is if you are able to make a play, you can go for it. You should be forcing it as an EXP laner. That's kind of your main job in these bigger fights. I don't know. I think Lapu is kind of like overall, he's just good. There's like no reason to ban him, but there's
He's
also
the new daddy.
He's the new daddy, right?
It was Fredrin before.
It was. What's that?
Yeah.
Is it just this good? I don't know. I feel like Fredrin had like way more significant impact.
I mean, he's been there for years.
He has been there for
right?
years. Yeah, you're right.
Lapu just started. He waited for Fredrin to drop off. Be like, hey.
Out of the way, Fredrin. Stepdad is here to save the day.
But that, okay, this is more like a podcast. But that, if Lapu falls off, and Fredrin is also a non-factor, is Amon gonna be the new daddy?
I don't know. Amon is kind of a give and take here. I feel like Amon...
Some people like his look, some people don't. Oh, I guess some scrappy like Roger.
Something scrappy?
Because we've been having very clean guys. Oh, they first picked the Granger.
Yeah,
okay.
Interesting. Oh, there has been an adjustment.
They
double tank. Yeah, double tank junglers already out. They're forcing
they're letting go of the Arlet.
I mean, I think that's totally fine. I'm down for it. Okay, go for the Arlet. What are they gonna set it up with? Okay, they're also taking away the Kimmy away from Maima.
Maima? Your Eve is pretty good.
Yeah.
Your Eve is pretty good.
Eve is not bad.
Eve Lancelot?
Eve Lancelot.
Oh, but the Arlet does deal well with the Lancelot.
Yeah. No, I still think Jaja goes for Lance. Yeah. I still think that they're gonna go for Lancelot. I still think that. Oh wow, Matins, all 3 games going into the Gaton here. I guess a deterrent for potential Yeves on the opposite side.
Or he's been training nothing else.
Scribs, it's just all Gaton.
He's like, but coach, what about the Grog? And then the coach is like, what about Grog?
I didn't ask you to think, sir. I asked you to lock in Gaton.
Oh, Yis and Shin this time.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
There's still iframes to work around with. The Traceless is a good way to deal with that. Also, it's one of the few picks that we see that Keeman reliably go to each and every time. But I think now it's just you go into Hayabusa and then you pad the EXP a lot. Sorry, you pad the supports with some form of CC, because again, Kimmy already has 2 forms of CC, giving 2 resets for Arlet. We need a little bit more than that now.
I wonder Akai here, because Akai and Arlet is pretty good.
It's a good combo, yeah.
Right? It's a very good combo, and possibly able to deter in case GMX has a pretty good engage, right? The only reason is I don't know. He should be, right? Kimmy should be able to use an Akai.
Yeah.
I mean, you can screw your own team, but just don't do that.
Yeah, push him out. How hard can it be? Lance!
Oh, well.
Lance! All right, Key Man. He's like, Coach, one more time. Coach, I swear, I won't miss Retri this time. I got Phantom Execution and Retri. How hard can it be to whiff it?
Coach is probably talking to League Ops and be like, do you have the recording of he said, I swear I'm going to do well? Cut that bit. If he doesn't, I'm going to need that as ammo.
Look, honestly, I wish that the player tables were just a little bit lower, just so that we can see whether or not Coach Theo's feet are just shaking. His knees are just like, okay, locked it in.
This entire week, you want me Lancelot. Are you confident? And then Magic Kimi is like, sure.
Why not?
Yeah.
Did I stutter, Coach?
GMX, they're banning out the Harif. I was actually thinking whether they would consider banning out the Cho as well. Funny enough that not seeing Kalia at all for both games.
It's completely untouched.
Honestly, Untitled, they could go for high loss here because looking at the damage profile, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, I agree. But I think there's also a question whether or not they have to worry about things like Jushin, whether they have to worry about, you know, these big
true
laners as well. Yeah, because again, Uranus is out of the question. Now we're coming down to the final banning for the side of GMXK to get rid of the Grok as per usual. However, oh wait, no. They still banned out the 1-1, thank God. What other...
I mean, they can just stick a Cho here and then see what the matchup is going to be before they pick up SkyZ's hero. Either way, I would prefer just a little bit more crowd control, just so that the Arlet has more ways to proc.
Yeah. Arlet more ways to proc. What else could they go for at this stage?
Kalia is still there. It looks like they do want to pick up that Claude first.
What are they saving for Rossi? What if it's just Cho, I'm going to be like, whatever, dude.
Hey. Hilda again.
One more time.
Let's list the heroes that we did not like Rossi on. Hilda, the Helbert, Gatot. Last season, his Khalid was okay.
His Khalid was maybe not the early season.
This season, I can't remember.
Early season, not so much. Later in the season, definitely better. Kadita and Lapu for the side of GMXK. Very interesting. Big burst damage here.
Will Kadita be able to burst down the Arlet?
Assuming that she gets the Petrify down, right? I think that's kind of the only way she can set it up.
I don't know. You were pretty tanky on the Arlet.
I was going like Thunderbelt, War Axe, so that's a bit of a difference here. I don't know what style that Siska is going to go for his build. Usually, I think he also likes going full tank while holding on to the Fury Hammer early on, just for that early bit set of damage. But we'll see once we get to the Emblem breakdown, because right now, GMXK, that's a lot of damage.
I really want to see how Maima is going to execute with his Kadita, because I want to assume it's not going to be easy to catch all these targets. Claude is not going to be easy. The Lancelot, unless Kimian misses his puncture, it's supposedly not going to be easy.
I think he
and Storm's even having to purify.
Oh, darn it. Yeah, I think that Stoa Moore and maybe Kimian are probably the ideal targets, but I feel like Maima is going to come in very late into the fight. Ideally, he doesn't get hit by the final slash, but really, I think this game boils down to how well can Siska get, how much value can you get out of Siska on this Arlet as we start heading on in to the Land of Dawn. One last game here, and we'll see whether or not GMXK takes it 2-1 or Untitled. Guys, oh my god.
Sold out?
No, relax.
It was the previous one, right? The 9th anniversary one.
Don't worry about it. We
By the way,
still
Gideon,
have ticks.
Shout out to Facebook. They're saying, hey, make sure you guys catch Lapel and Gideon today. Hey, look at this.
Hey, shout out. Oh, that's sick.
Yeah,
hey.
there's already comments. Thank you very much, Facebook.
Big shout outs to our Facebook community out there for MLBB. Now, as both teams continue to clash, the first Lethal Wanderer is in play. It looks like Jaja is going to say, hell no, I do not want to deal with Rasi Storm as well as Kimian. Very powerful early game, and I'm surprised because, again, Matins and as well as Maima should purely be focused on the waves because there's no winning wave for them to actually out-trade them.
Yeah. Right now, looking at the emblems, I feel like everything is all good, but looking at SkyZ having that Master Assassin, I wonder if his idea really is to get Skyzar all alone in the backline. Because looking at Draft here coming in from Untitled, I kind of feel like it's SkyZ's job just to make sure that Skyzar is not a problem.
I mean, that's all. That's
Dude, not only do they have Sky, but it's Zed and Zar.
It's just
what are we doing here?
I don't know. I can't wait. They're just gonna have different variations of it. Sky Zud, ZUD.
We already have Sky's.
Sky.
At least he's original.
He is.
Although I think Sky was invented first. I think the Sky was invented first.
I'm pretty sure the Sky was invented first. Even so, I am worried about Maima because, again, he's losing a lot of pressure in this mid lane. Storm is going to hit level 4 on time, and Maima will always be late to these fights. In terms of how they're going to delay, it's purely up to Matdiz because everybody else, if Monster jumps in without any setup, or at least is able to force out an ult, it doesn't feel that great because Keeman can get in and out of these fights with no issues whatsoever. Look at that.
I'm really not sure about this Kadita pick, but I really want to be proven wrong. Keeman goes in a little bit early, and Jaja secures the turtle. And now the fight continues. First blood for Jaja. Siska still able to actually get a kill there, but Siska basically has 0 HP running away, and Mandins won't let him get out of there. Oh, Untitled already giving over 3 kills to GMXK in the early game.
Yeah, not what they wanted to see, but Jaja playing it very, very well. Not to mention that Monster's forcing out a lot from Keeman. Keeman got really nervous there. He used Phantom Execution to get back in towards that turtle pit, but honestly, he probably could have held it for a little bit longer. More importantly, he shouldn't be worried about the Lapu until he's in that Raging Slash or even the Earth Shatter. Those are the 2 big spells, as we see that Jaja taking a lot of poke coming in from Storm. He should be able to heal back up, no problem, but look at the setup, right? Because now they can start looking towards that top side. They can potentially lock down this mid lane as well.
This is honestly a good enough lead, personally, for me, because 3 minutes in, GMXK has over 1,000 gold lead. Rossi able to get out of there.
Good Shinpo.
GMXK used a lot of ults, but again, the turtle is not going to be up for 50-ish seconds, so it should be fine.
Well, they should probably make something happen here, right? They have the way of the dragon to work with. They can look for Maima. With Monsters already rotating, it's going to deny opportunities, but they should play towards that bottom side, knowing that at least for Jaja, that's where his camps are going to be available.
I feel like, again, Untitled just got to talk to themselves in his few seconds before the turtle starts to actually plan out what do they want to do, right? Do they want to secure the turtle first? Do they want to go for kills? Because I feel like Keeman needs help. Both Siska as well as Rossi really needs to control Jaja. If not, Jaja might get a turtle again. And I feel like as a jungler, losing 2 Retribution fights, maybe even 3 back-to-back, might really impact your confidence going to the late game.
Well, speaking of confidence, I think my biggest worry here is Stoam, right? Because again, if there is a high focus on to supporting Keeman, Storm usually gets hung out to dry. And we saw that in the previous game when he was playing Yve, getting solo killed by Monsters. Even though the rest of the team was honestly pretty close by, they could have turned around, but instead, he ended up dying as soon as he hit, as Monsters hit level 4. And I think that Monsters wants to do the exact same thing. However, Storm is way more patient on that Purify, right? He will wait until the very last second to do so. My question is whether or not Untitled... Oh, hold on, though.
Oh, they actually go for Siska, making sure that Siska forces out the Retribution, and now...
It's good.
Mandin's already used the Revitalize. Untitled, they force a lot. GMX force a lot out of Untitled. They should have a good standing ground here going for this turtle.
They're going to take their time. Keeman, he knows that he's leveled down on Jaja at this stage of the game. They drag it out. Keeman should hit level 8 on time while Stone pressures that mid lane to force the attention away from this turtle. Oh, this might be an angle. They should go for this.
Yeah, Mandi's actually taking quite a lot of damage. AOG hits onto no one. Rossi already flickering out. But look at that. Looks like they're going to go for the kill first. But Keeman takes a lot of damage. Skyzet comes in a little bit too late. Skyzet secures the kill. But back, we can see that Munster chases after Siska. Everything is going downhill again from Untitled, and it's all from a lack of cohesiveness. They're not playing as a team.
They're not really talking to each other. They knew that Martins doesn't have his Revitalize. I don't know why Rossi didn't go for the kick at that time. I think that was the perfect time to go for the kick. Nobody else was nearby to support Martins. They have Storm nearby to actually get some damage down. They even have Keeman nearby who can Phantom Execution when he's 10% HP to guarantee the kill and then look to reset, right? There is no need for Untitled to try to speed up this game knowing that Skyzet is the main win condition at the end of the day.
Untitled's lives might be flashing over their eyes, and I'm talking about playoff life here. If GMXK wins this one, I don't know about the numbers, Gideon, but it's not going to be looking pretty good, especially if AERO has a good time going up against Homeboys later on. For Untitled, I feel like Kimin has to lock in because Skyzet is doing a lot and Siska is getting targeted over and over and over again. Siska wants to have a good game, but when 3 and 4 guys jump onto you, it's kind of hard to outplay that.
Yeah, man. It's, this is one of those things, right? It's got to be a little smart about it. Jaja, and especially for Keeman, this 1v1 is extremely dangerous. You can tell, especially for Keeman, he's really nervous going up against Jaja, who's been playing mechanically perfectly. Outplayed him in game number 1. Got close to... Ooh, okay, now the kick? Okay, it doesn't really matter, though.
Onto Martins, no damage.
Why? Why is he, like, kicking him when he's got things like Revitalize? And when he doesn't have Revitalize and he should go for the kick, he's like, nah, I'll wait for the next stop sign.
And all before Turtle.
Yep.
All before Turtle. When your jungler is already not having a good game.
They're getting antsy here. They're getting really, really antsy.
I would say, let Kimin be the only one here, and then send 4 people up top. Get a turret. Get 2 turrets. Oh, Maima! Oh, okay. I'm so sorry, but now Mandines looks like he's gonna get punished, but I feel like he doesn't care. They already took it down, came in, and now Rossi is next on the table, able to Chumpo out of there. Munster just zoning them away. It looks like Jaja gets the purple buff as well. I'm so sorry, but when I saw that Petrify over to Keeman, I was supposed to call that, but I knew it was over.
I mean, to be fair, you got to give it over to Maima. I wasn't expecting him to sneak his way into the Tri-Brush, right? And I think that probably shocked Keeman as well.
It shocked me!
He had no time to respond to it, right? He could have gone for the Thorn Rose to try and dodge it, but as soon as you get hit by that Petrify, everything else that follows up is almost guaranteed because that Petrify is so good at locking people down. Now, we have to see, because again, oh no!
They go on to Siska, man. They know where Untitled is really strong. And as long as Siska doesn't get to play the game, no one else does. If Skyzet can make this happen, man, bro, MVP all the way.
MVP to make it through. I think worst yet, GMXK have been given a lot of free pressure because Untitled are moving so uniformly across the map, right? The only person who can realistically open up the map is Rossi, and everybody else doesn't have a disengage. So, punishing Siska, punishing the rotations, punishing and intercepting reinforcements is the name of the game.
All right, right now Storm has 1,200 assists. Rossi trying to give him another one. The kick goes on to Jaja. Keeman gets that kill. Maima tries to run away, but look at up top. Looks like Skyzet is alone. Can Skyzet get away? He can! This boy is trying his hardest to make sure that GMXK doesn't get turrets for free.
They're still going to try and pressure him, even though topside, Skyzet probably want to sit underneath that turret. He will catch that wave. That's a lot of economic damage, and more so structural damage, losing 50% on that top tier 2.
I mean, you gotta let go of something, right? You gotta let go either your side or the mid. And I feel like considering Kimi doesn't have a good game, they cannot let that mid turret die, because then it's gonna be so hard for him to get any buffs.
Yeah, Keeman needs to build some confidence here right now. Oof, he is only 1 level down, which is not bad compared to the 2-level difference that we had in the previous game. He will be able to full clear, and once he full clears, he should be level 14 to level 13. Jaja on his way to max level at the stage, but he's been power farming the entirety of the game.
Yeah, at this point I kind of feel like Untitled, they need a good pickoff, right? So it really is on to Rossi. It feels unfortunate for me because every player that we're calling out, they're not performing.
They're not. And I think it's really hard for them because, again, there's a bit of anti-synergy here, right? How we want to see Untitled play is a death ball. They want to roll at their targets. Hold on, though.
Siska meets onto Madines, gets caught, and now Skyzer secures the kill. Rossi goes to the back line, finds Maima, but when it matters, he gets the Lord. But it's only at 10 minutes. I feel like GMXK, they're okay to trade for that one. Look at Rossi taking a lot of damage, and Skyzer gets the killing spree, 3-0-0. They get mid-tier turret, and now Storm has no more HP, but he still survives. Untitled does get the Lord, but GMXK doesn't care.
Losing 2 members here, it's going to allow them to make sure that but they can start focusing on clearing waves. And now, speaking of clearing waves, actually GMXK don't have very good ways of doing it, right? These Lords are pretty dangerous for them because they're high ground defense without a proper mage, and more so, you are playing Granger. Generally speaking, wave clear is not the great... Oh, God.
Oh! That's what he needed.
That's what he needed.
That's what he needed.
Talk about a confidence boost. They're gonna get a huge push on that top side. Wait. Do they? Oh, they do. They spawn out Maima.
Yep, Maima gets caught by Rossi here. Siska, he wants some kind of revenge, but Ruffle is out of there. He actually gets caught by the traction poles. Stone gets a kill there. GMXK is still 1,000 ahead, but Untitled, for some reason, they found the confidence that they needed, and they're fighting back.
The code switch was too quick, and now they get and steal away the gold lead, the economic advantage from GMXK. Tier 2's falling, and even a concealed being called by Rossi to zone them off. This is exactly the position that Untitled has been waiting for this entire game. And worse yet, Storm, untouched. He's 2-0-3. He's been having a perfect game.
Why does SkyZ go throughout the game with 0-0 and 0? But right now, we have to say this. Don't overheat.
Don't overheat.
You got your momentum back. You only have around no more than 100 goal difference between both teams. Jaja having that BOD, if they go for that 1v1 again, it might look a bit different.
It'll look very, very different, right? BOD, Endless Battle, already purchased. He's not thinking about sustainability. He's thinking about cleaning up the messes that are made. And they're highly depending on Skyzar to actually find the big chunks in the first place. Now, on the opposite end, Maima, he's purely focused on burst, right? He's got the Genius Wand, he's got the Lightning Truncheon. You don't see it very often, but in this particular case, if he can get more than one target, then at least the damage can bounce around for a little bit. However, he hasn't been able to find these angles like he did in the early game. I mean, it's 9-6 for a reason, and Untitled, if they can secure another Lord, I think that might just be GG for GMXK.
They got to set things up right now because 30 seconds in is good for Untitled that the Lord is spawning down bot because their tier 2 is dangerously low and they should be able to keep it up. For GMX, it's really about the positioning of Maima here because it looks like when Mundines catches someone with a taunt, Maima can instantly follow up. Rossi's able to get out of there, but now Untitled, they got to be aware of this. If you see Mundines, you have to know Maima is nearby.
And we say that, right? That's the illusion that they want to put. They still have Maima on the complete opposite side of the map, knowing that somebody might disrespect the space. Now, Maima, he's making a blind call. He saw SkyZ initially. He doesn't know if he's going to stick there any longer. And Untitled, until they get more information, this Lord, as much as they want it, can get stolen away. They can take out Jaja, that would be ideal. But for now, let Storm do the poking. Take your time with this. More importantly, they need Rossi to open up the map.
They know that Maima is not there. Rossi with the conceal tries to find a target. No one is close. Keeming gets the Lord for free. Mundines taking a lot of damage. Weird that GMX didn't contest that, but probably because they understood that Maima was nowhere nearby.
Man, they wanted a
catch.
Bluff, yeah. They tried to go for the initial bluff. Untitled said, no, we want to keep it honest. We don't know where Maima is, but more importantly, if he doesn't show up towards that Lord side, it doesn't matter in the first place.
Untitled somehow finds a way to bring it back in. And like you said, the wave clear isn't the very best for GMX. But judging by how GMXK has been playing, I really feel they will be very happy if they somehow can turn this around and just get an interview and be like, hey, Untitled, sorry, man. What can you do?
What can you do? Hey, just 2-0 SRG, no big deal, right?
Yeah. It's not that hard.
It can't be that hard.
We got one. Yeah.
All right, here we go. T2 should be collapsing now, but the question is that inhibitor, and I think Untitled doing a very good job at managing these waves. Want to slow it down for just a bit so it collapses at the same time.
Lord marches in. Kimin now, he has the BOD as well. Skyzar is doing his very best to clear up top. Untitled looks like they're not going to go for an engage just yet. Still taking quite a bit of damage coming in from the Bravest Fighter. But at least Untitled, they're not forcing things out. They're not overheating at this moment.
Yeah, they're really setting it up, right? They want the siege to be perfect, down to a team.
Final slash over Mundines. Gets separated from its team. A killing spree over to Kimin.
And they can do it again, right? They still have Way of the Dragon, and Rossi looking for an opportunity.
This guy just taking the hits coming in from Munster. And this time the Claude is here. Kimin comes from the side. Siska has to flicker out. Oh, he actually pops the immortality. Jaja from the side. Rossi did not predict correctly. Unable to get Jaja.
Unlucky, unlucky. And to be fair, that one makes a lot more sense because Traceless is difficult, and again, the jukes, the anti-CC. A little sad for Siska though, because again, he was looking for an opportunity to find a final slash to pull somebody once again, because it's on such a short cooldown that he can pull people towards their side over the wall. Because keep in mind, the final slash will always go left to right, perspective of the Arlet, right? Now, with the items already coming through, more importantly, pretty large build for Munsters, right? He wants to have that Fury Hammer, but he also made sure that he has the Radiant Armor alongside with the Thorn Blade Armor, just to make sure that he can like tank the damage from Stoem specifically, really punish him.
Maybe he should commit for Madines. Munster is there. Siska's gonna see Munster, and now Madines, he gets kicked, forces out Revitalize, and Munster in the middle of everything. Looks like he'll take it down. Stone secures the kill. Probably not what they wanted, and Maima waiting again. They do not go over that bush. Maima hasn't had a good time placing his traps.
Traps are kind of everything, and now they sit on top of it. Do they know where he is? They have no way. Rossi's pretty far back here. Siska has already cleared out that mid side.
They gotta do something here.
It's a 50-50. They're gonna reset it. Good call, good call.
Yep. And now they see Maima. Siska has his eyes on Maima.
Chunk him.
Right now, Rossi forces out the traces over to Jaja. Looks like Mandine's forced to use the AOG defensively. And then Untitled, not forcing it out. I'm happy that they're not overheating, as we were talking about here.
Yeah, I'm glad that they remembered that there's still a missing inhibitor on the long lane side. So really, you don't have to force anything. You can guarantee information once that wave starts to build up and catch on that bot side. Now, I think GMXK, this should be GG for them, right? They don't have the greatest high ground defense. The sieging is much better for Untitled, and plenty of ults to work with here for not only Rossi, but Siska.
Looks like they're gonna get top inhibitor, and now the Lord is inside the base. Untitled, looking at Kimin, missing all his shot. Mandi stands forward. Jaja gets a kick over, but looks like Skyzar gets taken down by Munster. They're still defending it here. Skyzar goes for Rossi. Jaja actually the one securing that kill. GMXK Mandines is able to catch Siska. Siska still able to dash towards the creep. And it looks like GMXK successful defense by taking down some members of Untitled.
Oh, that's gotta be so frustrating. Especially since SkyZ has been pretty uninteractive the entire game, right? The one time he tries to make a play, instantly punished by Munsters alongside with Maima, unable to flicker away in time.
Looking at Jaja. Keeman has to be careful not to get taken down. Looks like GMXK is able to get the tier 2 in mid. They're gonna get bot as well. GMXK with that play, with that defense, they're able to equalize. Now we're going into the 20-minute mark. Gold doesn't matter as much, more about switching up your items. It's all about the execution here. And this is gonna be very crucial because GMXK has not been contesting the last two Lords. This time, they might have to.
They have no choice. They have no choice, but there's too many things missing with no inhibitors whatsoever. Like, the advantage will always lean into Untitled. They have scaled very well into this, but the same can be said about Jaja, right? It's just, can they bait out those resources? If Untitled are working without their ult, GMX actually has a really good opportunity to punish, but it all comes down to the coordination of Munsters alongside with Maima, maybe Matdines to a certain degree, but at this stage, Untitled have learned their lesson. We can't just get taunted by Matdines for free. We've seen how many times Rossi has been caught by it, and Maima just one-shots him.
Bladed Spur, bot by Skyzar, untouched so far. 3-0-2, so 30 stacks on the Skypiercer. A single team fight can ramp that up very, very fast. He has to be careful of his own positioning, but like you said, Gideon, they gotta be careful of the taunt coming in from Matdines. But one good taunt can really secure the game here. Maima in a very good position. You usually, when you're very low, you would go that far. Skyzet, will he spot him out? Oh no! Maima gets Skyzet! That's the crucial catch! Maima is gonna get taken down, but he doesn't care. Rossi tries to get a flank for himself, but now Monster is just gonna shoo him away. GMXK, can you use this opportunity that Maima got for you?
Oh, that's really unfortunate. This guy's just probably thinking to himself, I would have loved to have Purify right about now, but he just didn't react to it in time. Wasn't expecting that angle.
Oh, Monster diving back, flickers forward, forces out a Purify. He's taking a lot of damage. He's all alone. Now gets taken back.
Oh my god.
The final Monster gets home. Everything is going wrong. Rossi gets hit by the turtle boat. Mega kill by Skyzar. Untitled, what else can you do to protect your playoff life?
Oh my god. That final slash into Snowem, it pushed the Lapu to Snowem's face. Unless Keeman can go for the steal right now. I mean, they're trying, but Ziska is going to be the first to beat on to Skyzar.
Oh, this is an act of desperation. He doesn't even get the immortality. I can't even blame him. This is desperate times, man. I mean, GMXK showed up today.
GMX did show up, but at least with that play and losing his own immortality, he buys time, which is exactly what Untitled need right now to get their team back into the fighting spirit, right? They still have a chance. They still can make things happen. They know that the wave clear is so weak for GMXK. Just let the waves do God's work. We need to delay, and if they're going to start delaying, now would be a pretty good time as GMXK are sitting on the Lord.
Untitled came in. If you get any, this is the one that you really want to get, Martin.
Here we go!
Trying to force it out, and Kevin gets it! He got it! He used his own life, and now Martin gets on to Siska. Skyzar shuts down Kim, and Skyzar is doing his best. Storm gets taken out. He takes down Jacka. And now, in the back line, Skyzed. He has to be careful. He basically has no HP left. Monster is chasing, but look at the base. Skyza, he might be able to do it now. He has the Haas Claw.
Wait.
He's healing up. The Lord is marching in.
Keep your eyes on Maima here.
Can Jimmy's clear this out or not? Rossi forces on Maima back. Maima has to use the passive. Skyza took a lot of damage. He still survivable. What was that? But the game is still over. Untitled wins 2-1.
Oh my goodness. Look at Rossi. He's so stressed. He's so stressed by the end of that. Down to the wire. 2-1 victory going over to Untitled. Not the cleanest game, but the mission is complete. Stolen breathes the sigh of relief. GMXK. Dudes, you can see the frustration, man. We put everything into that. Still, it was not enough. Down to the wire for the 2-1 victory. Holy cow. Woo!
I think if you want to give an earful towards Untitled, maybe give them a few minutes. I think they need time to reset after that game because, my goodness, Keeman needed that. He got that because imagine if they didn't. They could not have won that match.
When it mattered the most. Keeman showed up right there. And he did the item swap and was able to find and chunk out a couple of people before he went down. He put everything on the line in that final take. Oh, that was... I still can't get over that. I'm nervous for them, man. I'm shaking for them.
Well, someone's shaking for sure. On stage, I'm already looking at Kimin as well as Siska. Gonna be the one doing the interview. So now we're gonna be throwing it over to the stage with Rose. I don't even know how they're gonna answer that one. I'll be shaken up. But now, let's go over to the stage.
Untitled berjaya menjadi roadblock untuk GMXK. 2 berbalas 1 untuk pasukan Untitled. Dan sekarang Rose bersama dengan Kimin dan juga Siska. Congratulations atas kemenangan hari ini. Tapi it was a very close call, Siska. Kalau kita differentiate lah perlawanan minggu lepas dengan minggu ni, kita boleh cakap beza sangat. Apa sebenarnya yang beza?
Mungkin sebab kita orang memang nak sangat 2-0 tu, kita orang terlalu berfikir pasal point tu. Mungkin itu menyebabkan kita orang main takut-takut hari ni.
Pressured.
Pressure.
So sekarang dah 2-1 and kalau apa-apa apapun yang terjadi hari ini, korang belum lagi secure slot ke playoff sebab korang gagal mendapatkan 2-0. So apa plan korang selepas ni?
Tinggal satu cara je lah. Kena menang lawan Haji.
Boleh ke?
Boleh, insyaAllah.
Confident ke Siska?
Confident.
Macam tak je. Confident. Nah, di dalam game pertama dengan game kedua, kita boleh nampak that banyak gerakan tambahan daripada side Untitled. Apa sebenarnya yang tengah terjadi in game? Adakah communication masalah? Ataupun it was a very discipline punya mistake?
Mungkin hari ni kita orang main kurang disiplin lah. Dan kita orang
kurang disiplin kenapa? Underestimate GMXK ke? Sebab diorang bawah?
Apa dia?
Agak kurang disiplin kenapa? Korang underestimate GMXK ke sebab diorang bawah?
Tak ada. Kita orang respect je diorang. Tapi
mungkin apa?
Diri sendiri tak disiplin.
Diri sendiri tak disiplin. Okay, now kita saksikan 3-3 game untuk match pembukaan hari ini, tapi hanya seorang yang boleh menjadi MVP of the game. Sama-sama kita tengok MVP of the game in 3, 2, 1. MVP of the game jatuh kepada Siapa? Storm. Alright, Storm, come up on stage. Tadi lepas menang depan-depan player desk ni, dia rasa macam dia nampak lega sangat. So, Storm,
betul. Aku dapat instruction dengan
jangan gaduh pasal game. Nanti. Hi Storm, how are you? Mike, how are you?
Nervous.
It was a very intense do or die match, huh?
Yeah, so intense. I don't know, we didn't expect that GMX can play like that also. We didn't underestimate, but I think they really played their hearts out that game.
Yeah, they had to play their hearts out because GMXK, before this match, they had a 1% chance of going playoffs, and that depended on them actually 2-0ing all their following matches. Now, Storm, I think with a very shaky regular season for Untitled, I think it is right for me to ask something that the netizens have been discussing online. I'm going to be saying a statement that I've seen online, and I want you to tell me whether you think it's true or not, and maybe why. People have been saying that Untitled is a one-season wonder team. With such a shaky performance in the regular season, do you think this is true?
I think it doesn't really affect us because of, I think what really matters to us is we can reach playoffs, because regular season, last season, we also playing like this. So, we repeating it again, it doesn't really affect us. And I think what our minds are focused on are just reaching playoffs and playing our best there.
So if you guys don't reach playoffs, you guys are a one-season wonder?
Yeah, we will accept that we are only a one-season wonder if we didn't reach playoffs.
Oh my, that is a statement coming out from Storm. Thank you very much. Now, the person paling takut di atas pentas ni adalah Kimin. Tadi lepas dapat tahu kena interview, takut je? Kimin, 3 game, 3 lot je you dapat. Kenapa dengan retri hari ni? Jawab. Apa jadi? Takut ke, pressure ke, retri buta, button hilang ke apa?
Oh, tadi dia kecil. Button retri kecil. Itu yang tak dapat tu.
Tu yang tak dapat.
Lepas tu tadi lot dah subuh saya besarkan sikit, saya dapat.
Oh, game ketiga besarkan sikit. Lain kali besarkan awal-awal ya?
Okay.
Kenapa tiba-tiba last game je nampak Kimin pop off? Game pertama, game kedua macam Kimin tak ada je.
Ada lah game dua.
Oh, ada ke? Ada. Tapi game ketiga baru nampak Kimin fungsi bantai-bantai sikit.
Tak ada bantai pun.
Lambat panas ke hari ni?
Lambat sikit lah.
Kenapa? Awal sangat?
Game awal lah.
Okey lah. Kimin, ada lagi peluang untuk pergi ke playoffs untuk Untitled. Apa ekspektasi Kimin untuk lawan SRG OG untuk Ahad pula? Siska cakap dia confident.
Confident lah. Siska, confident.
Confident. Prestasi macam ni akan keluar ke ataupun yang macam Homeboys?
Lain lah, lain.
Lain.
Macam Homeboys lah mungkin.
Lagi better.
Lagi better.
Lagi disiplin.
Lagi.
Apa yang korang kena perbaiki untuk mendapatkan momentum macam tu?
Disiplin kita orang kot. Disiplin dengan kita punya rasa takut dan diri tu kena buang.
Okay. Thank you very much. Anything yang nak cakap kepada fans yang datang?
Okay, untuk fans Untitled dengan budak-budak taman kak, my family, terima kasih datang. Untuk fans GMXK, terima kasih kak.
Alright, thank you very much. Congratulations atas kemenangan hari ini. Dan dengan itu, mari let's throw it back to the casters to analyse apa yang terjadi dalam perlawanan ini.
Thanks, Rose. MVP of the game going over to Storm. Out of all 3 games, Storm has been reliable. Somebody that you can fall back to. But when they shut him down, that's when these games have been going pretty difficult overall. But well done. Well done. Overall, they still managed to find their 2-1 victory. It just means that their next match is going to be that much harder.
I gotta say, if I were them on stage, I would be pretty scared as well. But yeah, like they said, they just gotta win against SRG.
No big deal, right?
No big deal.
2-0 as well.
Although let's just say, if they do, they deserve to go to playoffs.
They probably, yeah.
At that point, you know what? Might as well win it, right?
Might as well win it. Overall, I don't know, Untitled, they look so... They definitely feel pressured, not only in their interviews, but in the game.
I blame
as
their
well.
name.
Their name?
Their name itself is Untitled. They're unsure. Even from registering the team, they're unsure.
Oh my god. I don't know. It's
I blame from the beginning.
Right from the beginning, they should have been just very confident that the name of the team. VC.
Very confident.
That could be an idea. That's
Should be called
branding.
VC.
Or just confidence, one way or another.
Yeah.
Well, look.
It could be over, it could be under, but it's part of the name.
It's part of the name. Look, I have some things to say, some hot takes, some may call it. Let's bring that camera over to me in just a little bit here, because again, there's a lot to talk about. First off, the question is, don't worry, we'll get the minute timer is already up on that clock, and I'm going to specifically talk about teams who.
All right, got it.
Why are they so slow? Why are they not warming up right from the very beginning? And yes, we've heard a lot about franchising in the following season just to get our double round robin, but we need these games to happen now. It's not about a matter of scrims, it's about the matter of games that we're actually able to cast and give you guys up at home to see, because so many of these teams come in looking really, really weak and only find their feet later down the line, which I have 2 gripes with. Number 1, we need a double round robin. Number 2, we need teams to start investing in their players before the season. And I'm not talking about a couple of weeks. I'm talking about 3 to 4 months ahead of time. Really put in the time and effort to get these players up to snuff. And yes, you can't control the patch. Yes, you can't control whether these personal players have beef with each other, but at least you'll know ahead of time. That's all I got for the hot takes.
Hey, thank you very much. Good. We're gonna be looking at the itemization here, but you're talking about how teams are slow. I got medication for that.
What is it, Xanax this time?
Oh no, that makes you slower.
Oh no!
There's something that makes you fast.
Oh darn!
You know what? Hey teams, if you need meds, I got connections.
You got connections.
I got connections. And here being in Malaysia, I just gotta WhatsApp them.
Yeah, just
I like that. I talk to my doctor not with email. I just WhatsApp her and be like, sup doc.
It's sup doc, just the equivalent of just texting somebody. Oh goodness.
Hey, that's Malaysia, man. So if you guys are out of the country, out of Malaysia, come here. I'm pretty sure even our prime minister, someone wants to contact him, just WhatsApp him. You don't need the email. Dude, I'm pretty sure our prime minister is just a normal dude. He goes outside, he buys things by scanning the QR code.
He uses QR pay?
I'm pretty sure he has cards for that. And I'm like, you know what? Let me QR this.
This prime minister, I don't know, bro. Yeah.
I think he's just normal dude, you know?
I feel like he's a normal dude, but I also don't think that he has the security measures that his phone, like, similarly. Because again, I know for a fact that the security measures for the president of the United States are prior to the current one. can only use the phone to listen
Oh,
to
that's
basically
true.
music, and they have to let communications be done by everybody else. But that's about it, you know. Other than that, did you know that GMXK actually ended this game despite it being a loss, having a higher kill score than Untitled, 19 to 14.
You saw how exhausted Stone was.
Whew.
He didn't look that exhausted going against any other team. GMX pushed them, man.
I'm surprised though. Would you, if the league was a double round robin, do you think that GMXK could actually push themselves into the middle of the standings?
Oh yeah.
Really? Overall?
I'm actually looking at, because at the end of the season, this is why I actually do want a double round robin, because only at week 5,
okay,
Dota has figured it out.
Oh yeah.
Right? GMXK, they've been improving every single day. Maybe not as fast, but they are, right? And then you see teams declining. You see CG. They start off very strong, but now instead of top tier, they look kind of mid.
Well,
same as Vamos. Vamos just all over the place.
Yeah, Vamos is a bit of a roll of the dice, to be fair. They've been like that through many different seasons.
Yeah,
I feel like CG, Coach Raid already preemptively, like, we're not ready. It's like, it's good now, but people are going to pick up on us in a little bit. Now, we look at the Hall of Famers here. Once again, key players, Keeman, Stoem, Rich Guy, the carry, Mott Deans, and Maima, Sandbag into the best wingman. But I'm curious, if you are going to go for a double round robin system, when do you think we should put the transfer windows? Are we going to have 3 transfer windows? 2 transfer windows? What are you thinking here?
I feel like week 3 is definitely one, and then you close it at week 5, assuming, let's say, we go for 7 weeks or something.
We go for 7 weeks? Oh, that means each day would have like an extra game.
So either 7 or 8 weeks, I feel. And I feel like, to keep it like really competitive, just open it up for 2 weeks per se, just week 3 until week 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever. Maybe emergency week 7, but maybe the league is like, okay, you know what, y'all really suck, just for this 1 week. You know,
Todak be looking at it as like, this is our one last chance, guys.
Bro, come on. I know you said no week 7, but come
on.
Rules are meant to be broken. Am I right?
That's true. That's the MPL MY style. But man, there's so much we can. Honestly, I don't have much to say about this particular game because again, that final game said everything we needed to show, right? The desperation, how close it was, the pressure surmounting to that very end. Most importantly, as we look into these highlights, the outplays that actually occurred. Because throughout the entire game, disincluding game number 1, Jaja alongside with Keeman were having this internal battle about when to retry. The timings kept on changing for each neutral.
Out of topic, but if Jaja transfers out, his name might stay the same, but it might be pronounced differently. It could be haha.
No, keep it a Jaja. It's branding purposes. And I think it's not that bad.
No, get it? Like, if it's like Germany, it's like ha. If it's like,
God damn it.
If it's like Mexico, if he like, it is haha.
God damn it.
That's what I'm saying, you know, it's Jaja here.
No.
But everywhere else, like Indo, someone might be named WKWK. Is what? Yeah. Everyone else like
Waka. No, I think it's fine, right? I think that's kind of the beauty of it because everybody has a interpretation of Jaja at that point.
Jaja.
Well, imagine if we have Mobile Legends Paris.
Speaking spaghetti, am I right? Anyways, this is the highlight that I've been waiting for. A little bit tilting that Siska put Stone in a very bad position by putting the enemy in a very good position.
He didn't think about it because he forgot about the Queen's Wings that Munster had. He saw the initial stun come out, so he's like, he doesn't have it up again. Final slashes him. I'm so sorry. Forgive me, sir. That was my bad.
Skyza didn't have a lot of kills. It's only up until the end. But let me just say, if it was not for him, they would have lost this one. They would have lost. But it was such a close fight. Look at both teams only having 2 members and both having, I would say, the exact same chance of dealing with the problem of each side.
Exactly. And I think, you know, like, unfortunately, it boiled down to, like, just hero selection. Like, oh, maybe if Maima wasn't playing something with a little bit more wave clear, if he was on Farsa, for an example, they might have been able to actually go for the defense because right at the very end, Rossi ended up dying. And not to mention that SkyZ also ended up dying and the Lord just kind of did his own thing.
What if, right? Everyone just says like, what if I change up the hero? Because I would say the thing that made Maima not that great is that 7 minutes and above, he put himself in a situation where he can punish. Untitled, whether it was on purpose or not, was not a position where they were punished, right?
I mean,
Maimon waits on this bush, and then they're like, we're going everywhere else except that.
Yep, and SkyZ received the punishment because of it, right? That's what, 3
We had
times?
the one time, yeah.
3 times he died because either he got wombo combo by like monsters on top of Maima, or just I wasn't paying attention, instantly died off of that. Either way, the games are very, very tight, and that's one way to kind of set up for the rest of this final week of the MPL MY. Let me tell you, it is if today's games are going to be exactly like this one, I don't know what to expect.
The thing is, after this, it is going to be AERO going up against Homeboys. If AERO wins this one, Untitled's not going to have a good night's sleep.
That's also true. We'll find out right after this break. Let's go check out the mic check, and then we'll see you later.
Gua fighting. Fokus perang. Mati. Tambelin. Fokus perang. Mana. Fokus perang guys.
Nih, alis. Mati.
Perang, fokus perang. Nice, aman. Gua pegang dukti.
Pokoknya
SOS guys. Aman. Gua tempel. Satu atas. Tidak aman. Gua kuat. Fokus perang.
Mana.
Gua TPK.
Aman. Nice fight.
Gatok tu.
Dah selat.
No dive.
Nice.
Tengah, pede.
Jarang konsisten.
Ini nonton nanti.
Wih, bentar. Kejar.
Aman, dapat atas.
Dapat.
Gua clear mid. Aman.
Nice banget, Wir.
Guys, kalem.
Kita berhenti.
Dia boleh ni guys.
Jom.
Boleh tengah aku.
Ulti natan.
Mati Anderson. Jangan selat. Jom cari, tengok aku.
Yang pesan.
Nice. Kasih.
Mati.
Kejar isi.
Nice. Balen.
Salah.
Atas.
Dan selat 5.
Tarlok.
Box natan.
Tahu.
Alhamdulillah.
Got you.
Kita harus agak maju ya nih.
Aku maju.
Mereka mau paksa nih. Lihat gua.
Gua cancel, Wir.
Hero guys.
Ya, gua zoning Kimi. Gua kuat guys. Nice.
Maju lagi.
Conceal.
Depan guys, depan.
Ini udah besar ya.
Alert min.
Nice, man. Can out.
And you guys can out.
Ya, we kick.
Jadi.
Ranger, flick.
Kin mati.
Aku ripo.
Ranger storm.
Ada stop.
Ranger.
Alhamdulillah. Zed end. Kadita Zed.
This tower lock kasi, they will target Zed only.
Palitan ulti.
Tahu aja sih.
No.
Bye.
Tahu.
Wih, ini game apa ni? Yes.
Bye. Saya boleh ni.
Semangat nombor 1 ada dalam diri kita semua. Bukan atas usaha sendiri saja, tapi sokongan dan harapan yang dikongsi bersama. Sebab nombor 1 lebih daripada jadi yang terbaik. Ianya memikul impian mereka. Inilah semangat nombor 1. Inilah prepaid nombor 1.
Hebatkan harimu dengan 100 plus zero. Cuba, try, taste 100 plus zero. Hey.
CeraVe, baharu, blemish control, membersih. 2% salisilik acid untuk membersihkan pori dan 3 ceramide untuk melindungi kulit, memperbaiki. AHA, BHA dan niacinamide untuk menangani jerawat, untuk kulit bersih dan sihat. CeraVe.
So much talk of AI and tech today. Virtual worlds, what are they going to look like when we get there? I would like you to meet Ares, the ultimate soldier.
What are you?
I'm looking for something. Something I do not understand. A malfunctioning program who wants to live. Fascinating.
This is the most dangerous planet in the universe. And you've come to hunt an apex predator. You might not be alone in this hunt.
Predator Badlands, only in cinemas.
7 tahun, 16 musim, perjalanan yang dianggap sekadar permainan di telefon kini menjadi isukan paling berpengaruh. Inilah MPL Malaysia. Era permulaan segalanya, titik mula sejarah apabila Malaysia dan Singapura menjadi tuan rumah MPL pertama di dunia. Di musim pertama, kita melahirkan legenda Solos, penjahat dan Fredo. Dari musim ke musim, MPL MYSG menjadi pentas lahirnya pemain tersohor. Musim kedua mengukir cerita untuk pasukan yang tak disangka. Sayan Rebound, Nur bangkit dari kedudukan tercorot di tangga liga, mengharungi satu demi satu halangan hingga akhirnya menjulang piala pertama buat Malaysia. Musim ini menyaksikan kebangkitan luar biasa pasukan Todak. Ciku Guys dan Moon menggoncang pentas M1 World Championship, menamatkan saingan di tempat ketiga, mengharumkan nama negara. Momentum itu memuncak di musim ke-6, detik bersejarah apabila Todak menjulang trofi pertama mereka. Dari detik itu, bermulalah era kompetitif. Dari musim 7 hingga musim ke-12, setiap musim nama baharu diukir di trofi. Tiada pasukan yang kekal di takhta. Di sinilah Todak membina legasinya. Bersama Ciku Guys menjulang trofi sebanyak 3 kali. Puncak kegemilangan mereka hadir di SEA Games ke-32. Gabungan superstar team Ripo, Chibi, Zod, Ciku Guys, Izarami, Momo dan Gary menakluk pentas Asia Tenggara dan membawa pulang pingat perak. Satu detik bersejarah yang mengangkat nama Malaysia ke mercu isukan tertinggi di era ini akhirnya mencapai noktahnya apabila musim 12 Homeboy, pasukan yang sebelum ini tidak pernah menjulang trofi, mengangkat piala buat pertama kalinya dan membuka jalan untuk babak seterusnya. Sorakan peminat bergema bukan hanya kerana nama, namun kerana SRG menjadi pasukan Malaysia pertama menjulang MSC 2024 dan mara ke Grand Final 2 tahun berturut-turut. Sekaligus menyemarakkan api harapan baharu untuk MPL MY. Era ini diterajui oleh Cram, Stormy, Yums, Skies dan Innocent. Bukan sekadar juara, SRG menulis sejarah daripada dominasi di peringkat liga sehingga ke detik terakhir mereka mempertahankannya dengan penuh megah. Musim ke-14 mereka terus membuktikan kekuatan, memecahkan lagi sumpahan menjadi juara bertahan. Musim ke-15 repeat bersejarah yang menebatkan SRG sebagai pasukan paling dominan dalam sejarah MPL MY dengan barisan pemain yang sama memperoleh kemenangan demi kemenangan. Tetapi musim ini pentas akan digegarkan. Wajah baru muncul menentang gergasi. Wajah lama kembali membawa dendam membara. Medan tempur terakhir sebelum segalanya berubah. Pantang mengalah. Menuju perjalanan ke era baru MPL MY musim ke-16. Hanya yang gagah kekal juara.
This is the brand new Aspirin skins.
For the aspirants, I will be the shadow behind her light. And outshines the stars, Vexana. Destiny aligns us under a shooting star. We are the aspirants.
Alright guys, so we are back to watch some more gameplays from the Future Pros tournament. As you can see right now, right, the meta right now is very interesting down in the gold lane, because gold lane now consists of like the mage and the fighter, right? So we can see that nowadays people in the tournament is also using other than MN, right, non-MN gold lane. So let's see how they adapt the patch. It seems like they are adapting really well. And again, they are constantly sending out chips to just send the Bane in the fight. Sending the shark, Oh, nice. Now you can see that Mage Bane is really kind of strong in this meta. Thank you, Innocent, for creating this monster. My boy! My boy is Sky Piercing. Yeah, you can see that he's really using the Mage Bane really well. So it's good to see that people are adapting meta quickly.
nama saya Lefel, saya dengan Zorn. Zorn, disebabkan kau pakai Fanny Roam, aku akan tanya kau, hero apa yang tak boleh jadi roam? Kau diam je. Kalau ada hero yang kau tak boleh buat roam, kau just cakap dah. Okay, kita start. Hayabusa, Mia, Layla, Saber. Okay, nampak gayanya memang semua hero dia boleh buat. Cik, Messi. Okay. Aku tanya Zorn, sekarang aku tanya kau, okay? Aku akan sebut hero-hero dekat dalam ML, okay? Kalau hero ni kau tak boleh pakai, kau terus cakap, okay? Fanny.
Aku macam boleh.
Alright, itu je. So Zorn boleh pakai semua, dia tak boleh Fanny. See you guys later. Is gonna be using
bila terjatuh, aku beringat. Jalan dah jauh, cari titik bermula. Krak. Jangan patah semangat. Semarak api bukan calang-calang. Biar apa menghalang, aku sambut datang. 1000 daya, 1000 alasan. Harungi semua sampai di akhir garisan.
Kami tak senang mengalah. Kami luar biasa. Semangat membara, harungi bersama. Lakukanlah sama-sama lakukan. Bergema di kiri dan kanan. Tak berhenti marah ke hadapan. Tak mengalah berdepan cabaran. Jaga, kita jaga. Jaga, kita jaga. Jadi ayo.
See me, watch me, hype me, gotta give it all. Don't matter how many times I fall, gotta get back up, yeah, gotta go. I can hear them calling, now I gotta serve. Mess with my clique, now you get what you deserve. We keep it tight, we keep it cool, they got me and I got them too. Tak rasa api tak kunjung padam. Marah ke hadapan kita sehaluan. Jangan simpan-simpan, kita anak Malaysia.
Kami tak senang mengalah. Kami luar biasa. Semangat membara, harungi bersama. Jaga, kita jaga. Jaga, kita jaga. Jadi ayo.
Are you ready? Can you feel me now? Yeah. Let me hear you say.
Lakukanlah sama-sama lakukan. Bergema di kiri dan kanan. Tak berhenti marah ke hadapan. Tak mengalah
MPL Malaysia Season 16 is powered by Moonton. Presented by Celcom DG. Stream, game, vibe on social media, and more to your heart's content without missing even a single moment. Power up with lightning-fast 5G speeds. Stream all day long with Celcom DG Prepaid 5G. Our official sponsors. Official gaming smartphone, Infinix GT30, just launched. Comes with a free magnetic cooler, even more affordable than the GT30 Pro. The only phone in its class with GT trigger, 1.5K display, and 144Hz refresh rate. Supports steady performance with 120 FPS in MLBB. Available in 2 exclusive colors for the GT30, green and blue. Perfect meals for gamers, Grab. Grab food for one. When eating alone, enjoy meals from 10 ringgit with just 1 ringgit delivery fee and no minimum spend. And group order. Get 15% off when eating in a group. Bigger gang, bigger savings. Our esports partners, 100 Plus, Ferry, and Yamaha. And thank you to all our strategic partners, CeraVe and Playas. Predator Badlands, in cinemas on 6 November. An action-adventure horror, set in the future on a deadly remote planet. Predator Badlands follows a young predator outcast who finds an unlikely ally in Tia as he embarks on a treacherous journey in search of the ultimate adversary on the most dangerous planet in the universe where everything is trying to kill you. Catch Predator Badlands in cinemas 6 November. Keep an eye out for special ticket bundles that reward you with in-game diamonds when you purchase Predator Badlands movie tickets for IMAX or 4DX. Supported by KBS, Rakan Muda, ESI, MESF, and PSM.
Welcome back, everybody. You're watching the MPL MY Season 16. The final week continues here at day number 1, and we've already completed our first best of 3, now leading up to our second. My name is Gideon Q. Once again, of course, on the desk is going to be LaFell on the English broadcast, and thank you to everybody watching abroad and locally finding the English broadcast in the first place. Speaking of which, our upcoming game, the most important one by far, AERO facing off against the Homeboys. Whoever wins this will predetermine the likelihood that Untitled makes it into the playoffs. So stakes are pretty high.
When I was praying, I saw the Untitled boys. The first thing they said to me is like, hey, Homeboys wins, right? I'm like, for your sake, after the interview with Rose, whew, they were sweating. Although to be fair, the aircon not as cold. But for this one, AERO going up against Homeboys, where Homeboys looks like they got their stuff together. They understand their own system.
Oh yeah.
When it comes to AERO, a big question mark because Coach Tazi is not there, right? Coach Panda basically gets instantly promoted. At least that's for last week. We don't know what's going to happen for today. Gets promoted, and then the analyst basically becomes the assistant coach. So worried that there might be a broken system inside AERO, but if it's broken, but within the week they're able to fix it, hey, maybe it's for the better.
Could be trouble in paradise, to be fair, right? Because again, when Tazi was implementing, kind of diversifying their portfolio rather than leaning back into playing what they're usually comfortable with and practicing it over multiple weeks like we saw last season. But this time around, it's going to be a little bit different here. Now, keep in mind that while our players are up on that stage, they are going to be using the best products possible to give them that competitive edge. And of course, we want to thank one of our biggest sponsors here, Infinix. Now, shout outs to the GT30 because just launched. Keep in mind that it's now available and you can check it out on the Infinix TikTok Malaysia. And if you do decide to purchase the GT30, it comes with a free magnetic cooler and it's even more affordable than even the GT30 Pro, which is priced below 1.1K. It's the only phone in its price tier with GT triggers, a 1.5K display and 144Hz refresh rate that supports steady performance of MLBB at 120 frames per second. Now, 2 exclusive new colors come along with it, the green and blue added to the GT30 series, so get yours today like our professional players up on that stage. But coming back to the topic at hand, you're right. I think that Homeboys are looking really, really good, and their fans are just as excited to watch them during the playoffs because they can secure it right here, right now, if they win 2-0 against AERO and dash their chances at it. By the way, you can buy the playoff tickets right now. Scan that QR code. 17th of October is today, 3 p.m. We've had it up for a while, so if you missed out and you need to get those tickets, now's a good time to do so.
Yeah, I kind of feel like people have been saying like, oh, we couldn't get this ticket, it's sold out, it's sold out, it's sold out. Hey, it's open now, so make sure you guys get it. By the way, I forgot whose phone we stole, but apparently he only has one friend on ML, and it's Gijay. And look at that picture, man. Look at that picture. I hope Gijay is not a bad word.
I hope so too. I hope so.
Sounds like
too.
Gaijin.
Could be. Could be. I mean, I guess that's a.
We should give this back to Imosuke. Imosuke?
Imosuke?
Yeah, it's not Imonosuke, it's Imosuke.
Oh boy.
Oh, Imosuke.
Oh boy.
Imosuke.
Somebody in production is probably unhappy trying to figure out where their phone is going to be.
Imosuke's friend is Gijay. Oh, good friends, man, good friends. Has 0 diamonds, by the way.
0 diamonds.
Gotta work on that.
Gotta work on that. Can't gift it to anybody else, unfortunately. But in the meantime, at least we can talk about this upcoming game because as we mentioned before, trouble in paradise for AERO, but on the opposite end, Homeboys on the up and rise. Now, Homeboys has lost games, even though we're singing the praises during week 4 with their brand new, quote-unquote, brand new support. But now we look over at AERO, running the same lineup. It's Kusei, ZK, Kim, Hazel, and Smooth.
I would say the rock in AERO right now is Kim. Kim is the reason why they're staying in the games. Everyone else, like, I want to see Smooth not get shafted in draft. That's number 1. But then everyone else. We were saying that Hazel was good last season. He was saying that Malaysia is not hard at all. But he's having a very hard time. I would say Kusei is here and there, more or less the same power level as last season. ZK has dropped off. So I feel bad for Kim because it's either he's improving or staying the same. But both his supports, man, kind of dropped off.
The mid trio is kind of looking a little bit awkward here. Kusei making a little less mistakes compared to last season. You know, Smooth, unfortunately, the draft has shafted him a good number of times, but I think that I totally agree with you that Kim is kind of holding his own and trying to keep it together.
Yeah.
If they can get the draft down, I feel like this team can really start to pop off. But then the question is, where do you lean to, right? It can't just be Kim, it can't just be Hazel. I think that Smooth, number 1, needs a good matchup, especially when they're facing off against MLQT, Daniel, Izanami, Ema, and Reza, ex-AERO player.
There's a lot to be said here, right? We saw the interview coming in from Reza, and he's like, I don't want to say anything now. I want to say after I win, during that interview, get me on. I have a lot to get off my chest. Because here's the thing, man. Reza, I'm sure we're going to see the stat later on, but when Reza was playing on AERO, they won more games. Like, it was clearly that he helped the team a lot, whether in-game or out-game, because Reza, as a person, he's kind of like the big brother. He makes sure that you don't overextend in-game and out-game. You know, you got to be disciplined. You got to have a certain class to you, you know?
Hey, he's very vocal, surprisingly enough, because every time I see him walking by, he seems to be like just chilling out, you know, keep it to himself. But apparently he's a lot more vocal, and that seems to be the general trend. I mean, we know Daniel's super vocal. MelQT is quite a personality. Izanami and Amal like to keep to themselves, but when you get into that game, communication seems to be so clear and such a clear direction of how they want to approach it, because they brawl, and they brawl hard.
And the thing is, they brawl hard because Reza so far has been, in a way, setting it up for them, right? He makes himself put in a position where he's gankable, but doesn't get punished, to the point where people tend to overextend and don't realize that Daniel and Izanami is coming from the back. And by the time Daniel and Izanami is already in prime position, either way you choose, you're going to lose. If you deal with Daniel and Izanami, you're going to deal with Amal, Mel, as well as Reza. And if you're dealing with these 3, then you're not going to be fighting against those 2. So AERO, they've seen this for weeks now.
Oh, yeah.
If they don't come up with a countermeasure, GG, Untitled's happy.
And not to mention that, especially with Kim playing these artillery style of mages, right? It becomes an added level of problem because you want a traditional, like, front to back. You never want to get flanked, especially if you're playing something like Eve.
Actually, because of that, bring back the Lu Yi. One of his strongest heroes. And that kind of ruins Homeboys. Like, you want a team fight? We don't. How about we just bring ourselves somewhere else, and then win that side of the map.
Well, let's see, because again, as much as we want to talk about Kim, we got to talk about Reza's revenge. In MPL MY Season 15 regular season stats, we look at AERO's games with Reza, 15 out of the 23 games with a total win rate of 60% with Reza. And as soon as AERO's placement in Week 6, it was ranked 4 with 16 points. Now come to Season 16, 16 games plays, 7 of those games being wins. And unfortunately, AERO's placement in Week 6 as of now was ranked 7 with only 9 points, and they haven't secured playoffs. All of this, Reza isn't there.
Yeah. There's no other change. I mean, like, coaching staff, yes.
Oh, yeah, sure.
But other than that, yeah, it's the only change, and they don't even play Aaron, right? But again, Smooth, he needs a voice, because I think Reza being as vocal as he is, whenever Coach Bam says, oh, I want to pick up this hero, he'd be like, no, Coach, I need this. This is going to help me win. And it's like, okay, you know what? You're the player. I trust you. Go get it. I think there's multiple reasons why AERO is not performing for this season. Coach, change of EXP, as well as the mid trio kind of not performing as good as before. But if they want to go to the playoffs, man, they got to eliminate all of those in this one match.
They got to make sure that they create... Well, some people are going to have to compromise here, unfortunately, right? And I think that the mid trio is a big standout as to why. I mean, draft included, of course, but even so, it's a tough sell for me. Now, let's go to the topic votes here. For you guys at home, let us know in the chat. The assassin user, Collide, Hazel, or Amal, who's getting your vote? Hazel or Amal? And we even provided stats.
Easy for me.
What's yours?
You know my boys.
You know your boys.
It's the homeboys, man. Amal has been doing good, not for this season. Even since last season. Heck, last season was more impressive. He used the tanks, he used the fighters, he used the assassins. As of right now, I think he's the only one that brings the Benedetta in the jungle.
Oh, yeah.
And he made it work.
He makes it work well. And I think it's one of the few pocket picks that makes sense.
He has been on the assassin, jungler of the week list. I don't see Hazel being there a single time this season.
Well, to be on that list, you got to be a bit of a star. You got to win, you know? You got to have a support system that helps you. Because I think that Emal, the big difference here is, again, the support systems. From Homeboys' side, it feels like not only does he have Daniel to rely upon, Izanami has also been a good force, but Reza as well. What he brings from AERO over to the Homeboys, that level of not only consistency, but vision without having to look on the map, that's something every jungler wants.
I wonder if Reza's going to put his foot down, because he's a micro player. By the way, Homeboys just need 1 point to win, to secure playoffs, but 2-0 means that they have a shot for the upper bracket. But now going back to Reza, because he's a mechanical player, and he's the kind of guy that want to use damage dealer, something like a Lapu, something like a Benedetta, because he wants to go to the back line. But so far, he's been saying, you know what, coach, you want Daniel to use a pickoff hero, I'll be a front line, I'm good with that. How about he makes a deal with Daniel? Be like, just one match.
Hey, he doesn't.
How about you be the front line?
I think.
And let me go to the back.
I think he doesn't need to make a deal with Daniel. I think he needs to make a deal with Amal. It's like, Amal, how about you play Fredrin? How about you play Boxia?
Yeah. You know what? Being Amal, he'd be like, sure. Give me Ayangapo, I'm good.
You're paying for dinner tonight? I'll do it, sir. Convince coach first. Now, coming into this, however, the draft is so important, and we're looking heavily towards AERO because Homeboys, their drafts have been really, really good so far. But even from AERO's side, let's bring up the quote from Husei specifically. When it comes to hero picks, it's a team decision. Sometimes the coach feels hero A is the best choice, but the players might prefer hero B because it's their comfort pick. If we lose, it's on our gameplay. Right now, all we're focused on is winning. It's do or die situation for us.
This is good and bad because I really feel like certain teams, you really need to listen to the coach. And in certain teams, you really need to listen to the players, right? And that's why we don't have a definite way of the best way to coach, right? Like, you talk to all the greatest coach in the world, you know? Yep, Ducky, Why Not, Arcadia. Everyone has their own philosophy where even if you go back to the previous MSC, we can hear the conversation between Arcadia and the players where the players like, we got to first pick Roger. Right? Even Arcadia was unsure about that choice, but he's like, you know what? I trust you guys. First pick Roger, and then they won the MSC, right? It's it's here and there. Like, I can see the argument for both.
Yeah, it's a fine line. It's tough, especially when it comes down to like for coaches, especially because they need to make the final call.
Exactly.
Yeah. They also have data upon scrims.
Yeah.
So when somebody is like, "Oh, I want to play this first," and you see a 10% win rate in scrims, you're like, "I don't know about this." Let's pull up the meme of the week this time.
CG beat Untitled. Untitled beat AERO. AERO beat CG. What? No, that's the good thing about MPL this season is that no one is clearly on top. It does feel like rock, paper, scissors, and sun and water. We got a lot of elements here.
We have too many elements, in a matter of fact.
I find that so annoying as a kid. The first thing I learned was rock, paper, scissors, and then all of a sudden there's a bird.
Somebody whips out a gun, and you're like,
yeah. You think it's a joke, but what is that? That's a gun, and gun wins everything. Then why is this a game?
Why is this a game? Why are you putting Spock into this?
Although, to be fair, if I was bringing a rock and the other guy had a gun, I'd be like, you know what? Fair.
They don't know the size of the rock.
Suddenly I'm Hercules. Carrying a boulder.
If I'm carrying this rock.
Hey, you know what? Go Demon Slayer. You know what? Earth form. Earth breathing. Earth breathing. Ichi no kata, man. Slamming this rock on you.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
You know what? I'll learn that. Just so that you bring a gun, I'll bring a rock. We'll see who wins.
We'll see who wins, man. Bringing the rock to a gunfight. Now, AERO, it looks like at least for all their members, they're in good spirits. I see a bunch of smiles. I'm seeing them feeling themselves. Homeboys, we have a quick look at them, and
Oh, they're more serious. They're like, we gotta win this one, man.
Look at Amal. Look at Amal. He's giving it away. He's just like, man, is it worth I am Gupok to play for Endrin right now? Like,
do you think Untitled just saw them behind? It's like, hey, I heard you want a skin. Don't you want to save your diamonds for something? I'm like, I can buy that for you, you know? Either ways, jokes aside, this is really do or die for both teams because even if Homeboy secures playoffs, right? If possible, they do want to get that upper bracket because last season they got their upper bracket and then they made it all the way to the grand finals, right? They kind of want to do that again.
They definitely want to do that again. Now, time for the random map draw. Let's see what it's going to be. Is the map's already going to go? Give it to me, Rivers.
Oh, Flying Cloud.
All right. So this does affect the draft at least, right? Now you can start thinking of your side lane matchups as, oh, even if we have a losing matchup, it's not that bad. You can just fly back if you get a good timing.
You know the team has an identity when they know what to ban against you. Ban out the Cho, ban out the Lunox, and be like, haha, we took all your first picks. Maybe ban the Lancelot as well.
We'll see, because at the end of the day, in terms of assassin-style junglers, you can't ban them all within the first phase unless you have a little bit of collaboration with your opponents, but I think that Hazel should be fine with his overall picks. I'm more concerned right now is whether or not Daniel is going to have something that has synergy, right? It's going to be pick off, but then it needs to have a plus X to it. And what is that X going to be?
Because the thing is, in these situations, Homeboys would first pick the Jushin, but that doesn't fit into Daniel's playstyle, right?
Yeah.
They want, right?
Unless they finally get Reza on a damage dealer.
Hey, that's what I'm hoping for. If
they lock in Uranus.
Pick up the Jushin here, and I'm feeling it's a Reza game.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
If it's a Jushin, it should be Reza.
It could be Reza going on onto a
Jushin EXP. Okay, maybe not.
Not everybody can be not everybody can be flat, man. And even then, he didn't win that game either.
Shout out to Flat Man, flexing all around.
Oh man, he's a great guy, great personality.
Makes you really insecure about yourself.
He does, unironically. He's getting bigger every year. Every time I see him in the international, it's just like, dude, did you double in size in all the good ways? There we go.
Oh, CCC! Hey, there is a game! Hey, there is a game!
Now, here's the problem. On Flying Clouds, as much as you're saying that, oh, Raze is going to dominate on this CC, it kind of doesn't because with CC, the only way to punish people on Flying Clouds is not only do you trade better than your opponent, but you also wave clear. So even if they do get a decent recall, they at least miss out on one minion due to the help of the hard push into the turret that will guarantee at least one minion loss. Now, coming on to the opposite side, AERO.
Okay, Volvius.
About it.
They did it before. They did it before. If you do that, okay, Smooth, we need an intervention.
We need.
I would take a Uranus, a Lapu, you know.
I think you don't even have to pick it right now.
Kalia Jushin.
Yeah.
If their jungler doesn't have that instant burst, might be a bit awkward for the Kalia.
It could be a Smooth Vendetta game.
Don't give me hope. Don't do that to me.
I mean, it's not off the table.
They might give him like a badang, which honestly might be fine. We haven't seen badang for a long time. Hilda. Wait, Daniel Hilda? Or oh no, this might be a CC goal, isn't it?
Is it a double fighter setup?
I mean, like that's what Melcutie used last week to deal with the Alice. I forgot who used the Alice, but the Alice was just shredded.
Yeah.
Especially if AERO doesn't ban the Kimi next phase.
Yeah, I would imagine. Yeah. I mean, okay, I think
Joy here?
Is it even worth it?
Because if not, it is gonna get banned because Hayabusa ban, Yusenshin ban, Fanny ban. Unless they want to go crazy and pick up something like an Amon.
I don't think Amon's too bad because at least then a lot of the heroes, at least a lot of the ways for homeboys to actually reveal him is basically, it's got to be untargetable stuff, right?
Yeah.
Hilda has targeted abilities. Same goes for CC. You need to visually see, for some reason, you need to visually see them even if they're camouflage. Don't know why that works, but it's just the interaction, right? But now AERO has decided, you know what? We're going to get the Esmeralda first, which is kind of like, I'm a little iffy on this because now you're running out of damage sources and you're heavily depending on Hazel alongside with Kusei to kind of get you over the top. And even then, there's no guarantee because it has to be very specific to burst.
Especially for me, I'm just thinking of this like a rank game, right? What I would do, for homeboys, I would ban Joy as well as the Alpha. We don't see a lot of Alpha, but the Alpha could potentially shred this Hilda to neutralize the early game.
What? Okay. They get rid of, they still don't know where this Hilda is going to go. They don't know if it's the double fighter, so they're sticking to their guns, keeping it safe, get rid of counter engage. So they say goodbye to the Grok. Joy is the follow-up ban, and finally Khalid gets banned out for the side of AERO, which is interesting, right? What jungler are they worried that Khalid is going to provide that much of a problem to them? And even Guinevere, good bans from homeboys.
I always forget about the Gwen. As of right now, any kind of, except for, maybe even more so for Hanzo, any kind of jungler to pick up that has damage, unless Alpha,
Hellcurt?
Wait, Baxa is still here, but then there's really no damage.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking, like damage dealers that have bursts, like Hellcurt, Amon, Gushin, but then do they care about like the profile of damages? Because so far it's like kind of just magic all the way through. If they get the Gushin, okay, sure, it makes a lot of sense for the one-shot burst.
Naruto? Lucas. I don't like it, but they're really running out of options in the jungle here.
Like full damage Lucas? I think it's okay, but Lancelot's a bit of a hard matchup, right? Because you got to really catch him in the early game to start the snowball. Wow, they're going to leave it up until the very end. They got a Ranger.
They need more time, man. They're like, I don't know what to use, man.
What do I do?
And then Panda's like, what about Kai?
This is so...
They'll get it because his name is Panda.
Yeah, but even so, it's like, it's just no damage.
I'm looking. Give me a sec. I'm actually thinking of fighters here. I think Assassins is no longer on the table.
Paquito, Benedetta, Alpha. I mean, there's no reason for like a majority of them.
I kind of feel like Bennett. Or Suyo.
That's a good shout, actually.
Suyo, yeah.
It's got the CC to start. It's got CC to peel, to initiate. It's got a good amount of damage reduction as well, which pretty much goes well into Lancelot because now we usually see Lancelot's built into the War Axe at some point in the game, and the Brute Force Breastplate. So it is going to be a double fire, but they're going to play around the Yve.
Yep. Having the Uranus here now, and I feel like homeboys, they can execute it because they have Amal as a jungler. Kind of giving Jaja vibes as well, where even if the game goes bad, his KD is going to be pretty good and he gets his target well. Again, if we're talking about Assassins, looking at Suyo, if we're going to talk about fighters, then the option does open up a little bit, but not a lot of it is really good, honestly. I'm even a Julian, right? Oh, are they really looking at tanks here?
Is it necessary? I mean, he's hovering above it right now. We can see his finger over
the
that's
Maxia. Okay. I'm worried because this comp, Eve deals with all of it.
Yeah. And she deals with it really, really well. Maybe not the Esmeralda as much, but that's assuming that she doesn't catch the Esmeralda in the RWM.
I mean, like, Reza just got a dunk on Smooth. It's not that hard.
Kinda. And not to mention that Kusei needs to somehow survive against Melcutie, because we've seen Melcutie multiple times on CC.
Oh, yeah. Boxia into CC, like, that's not good.
Yeah,
dude. And the thing is, if the curtain call hits onto Esmeralda, Eve doesn't have to worry anymore.
That's also true.
Oh, dude.
It's a tough one.
It's very tough for AERO. It's very tough for AERO. I kind of feel like Homeboys, they got a pretty good draft on their side.
They got an amazing draft, in a matter of fact. However, this is still flying clouds, right? So even if they are losing lane, there are means to come back into it pretty easily. It's really going to be the late to mid game, which I'm more curious to see how that actually plays out. Because, again, with Homeboys, such a snowball-oriented team, let's see whether they actually find the lead in the first place, because AERO has plenty of tools to just stall.
How I would approach this is because since you have a Boxia, he already has Life Bane in his kit, maybe just get the... do you even want Sky Piercer on Jushin? Because Kusei
have to.
Because Kusei needs that Sky Piercer as well, right?
I mean, they both kind of need it because they're the only damage dealers on their side of the team, right? Smooth, ZK, and as well as Hazel are purely for peel and engagement at this point.
And so, like it or not, they gotta pick up the Sky Piercer quick and then just let Hazel deal, just give up that Life Bane. And now it looks like Daniel, he's getting caught, and Flicker's RF saved. I was ready to call for a first blood there.
Same. I was ready for the call for the first blood, but he's still keeping it alive, right? The lane state is really, really difficult because both Zeke as well as Kim, no matter how much damage Kim actually takes, he can get healed back up. MLQT doing a good job here on that bottom side. And Kusei a little bit more aware, because the last time he played into CC using the Granger, he wasn't too sure of the matchup. Now, you can tell he's holding up his regenerate until CC actually goes for the jump, so you know that she's not going to try and walk up and cancel you.
Yep, MLQT just trying to trade with Kusei. Looks like Kusei still gets it, but AERO, they're trying to deny Izanami from getting the farm, but as an Eve, you kind of don't care because your range is so long. And Kim already using the Flicker quite early here. But again, doesn't have that Crimson Beacon, so makes sense, I guess.
Yep, Smooth, making sure that Reza is confirmed in lane. As they do a little bit of a lane swap, right? They want to hit level 4 on time. Reza doesn't mind taking the damage right now because he can just hop over the wall. He still has Purify, worst comes to worst.
Right, looking at the situation, looks like Amal is the first to be around the turtle here. Daniel's still not level 4 yet, but he doesn't really need it. Hazel gets stopped early. And now looks like AERO engages his move, gets the first blood over to Daniel. And now Homeboys, they're going to work with one less member.
Yeah, they got to give this up. There's kind of no point to fight for this.
What if Reza does something crazy and gets Kim? Kim having to use the Crimson Beacon, still healing up. And no one is actually securing for Kim. Amal is still in the turtle pit. Hazel still gets it though. And Zeke gets a kill over to Amal. Daniel is there, but Reza gets the kill over to Zeke. Hazel tries to run away. Reza, this seems personal. He's making sure that this Boxia doesn't go on rolling, and Izanami joins the fray as well. Homeboys find a way to equalize in terms of kills.
Which is not too bad, but unfortunately, Reza, he's picking up so much off of this. He's 1-0-1. He doesn't mind if Smooth tries to trade with him because he's running out of mana, and no Enchanted Talisman has been purchased this early on in the game. Now that Daniel has finally hit level 4, I mean, I guess everything that could have gone wrong sorta didn't matter at the end of the day, and Kusei gets a free recall off of it, as MelQT probably needs to rethink the strategy, right? When are they going to start sending resources down to the bottom side? Because they've kind of set up Reza for success.
AERO, they have to worry about the timing for MelQT. The moment MelQT gets that War Axe, all of a sudden, Homeboys hits an amazing power spike. That's something that they really have to look out for. Not to even mention, whenever Amal does get the War Axe as well, it's War Axe Mania coming in from Homeboys. So third, I'm thinking second or third turtle here, AERO really has to be careful, and they really got to respect the damage that Homeboys can dish out.
Speaking of damage, at this point, the proxy game, the proxy war. Wait, hold on.
Looks like someone got picked up, and it's Daniel. Daniel having to flicker out, but RWM stops them. And Hazel taking a lot of damage from both Amal as well as MelQT. They don't have the damage just yet. Boxia is still tanky, but it's all a matter of time.
3 ults for 2 ults in terms of the ult economy. AERO is still up good, but they don't mind dragging this out, right? They need Kusei in a position where he can actually join these fights and make full use of when he does get that Sky Piercer. Now the turtle is coming back up in 13 more seconds, but we look towards top side, right? Smooth now in a much better position after the recall. Wants to go for the proxy, but Reza will not give it to him for free.
Hazel tries to get onto anyone. Smooth is there. They found Daniel. Daniel trying to get out of there. Razor coming in for backup. Daniel gets picked up, and now Tonrose coming in. Amon secures the kill, able to get Hazel. Kusei is here as well. Looks like Melcutie is going to be a little bit late to the party. But overall, good trade. Trading your roamer for a jungler.
Yep, homeboys, they trade upwards, and that's exactly what they want to do in every single one of these scenarios. Now that Hazel's out of the picture, they're going to try for this Lord, but at least Kim getting the early reset off of it to slow things down, allowing Baxia to actually rotate down. Look at how quick he is. He's almost there, and look at the mid lane.
They got Izanami. Izanami has to flicker up. Still, Kusei gets the kill. Daniel trying to get a turn onto Zeke, but he's healing up. On the Kalia, Melcutie going to the back line, finds Kim, and now taking Kim as well as Hazel. But Daniel gets Zeke. A little bit off timing here by Homeboys. Got caught by AERO, where Zeke starts it off with Izanami.
Yeah, Reza, he's doing okay so far, but a great pickoff from AERO's side. They just need to recreate that a couple more times. It did cost them flickers. Izanami still holding on to that RWM. Waiting until the last second.
And it looks like Daniel stops Hazel in his tracks. Looks like Daniel is going to get taken down by Kim, but the RWM so far is reheating Smooth. Going to the back line. It looks like Izanami, his HP is so low. Kim has virtually no HP left, but still healing up by the Kalia. Reza is all alone against his ex-teammates. It looks like they're not even going to bother with him. They want this mid-tier turret. Mid-tier 1 turret. While up top, Amal just tries to get something for himself.
Good damage on towards Kusei's side, but Amal is able to break that tier 1. Smooth unable to do much about it overall. More importantly, wait, how much of a brass axe is they gonna... I think he's gonna keep on going, right? Amal's already put down to 20% of his HP.
I like that Smooth gets a hero that he can use. That's all my analysis. he gets a hero that's in the meta, you know what? That's so nice to see. Such a rare commodity.
Yeah, it's not like he was given a losing matchup. He's finally getting to play the video game,
not like he got
right?
an Edith or something.
Crazy. But even so, I mean, the turrets are collapsing pretty fast, right? AERO, despite losing weight, hold on.
Daniel basically gets picked off again, but at this point, he kind of doesn't care. He's 1, 4, and 3. He's not giving a lot to the opposing side. And very different Daniel. It looks like the trade has happened. It's like, you know what, Daniel, can you frontline? And Daniel's like, I'll try my best, Chief.
I don't know, because I just don't feel like this is a good draft for Daniel anyways, right? He doesn't have any ideal targets to really shred away. And the only person that he wants to shred down is if Melcutie and Amal are relatively nearby. He can't really harass Zeke. He can't really harass Kim. He can't harass Hazel or even Smooth, so he really only has one target that he can successfully harass. If not, has to depend on Reza to open the map.
Speaking of which, Reza taking a lot of damage. He might get taken down. In fact, Kusei gets the kill for 0-1. In the back lines, Daniel is there, but he's using a Hilda. This is not a Cho. He gets knocked out. He gets pulled back in. And now Kusei gets a double kill. This is an amazing game for the Granger. 2,700 gold ahead, 10 kills to 4. Oh, Untitled is having a nightmare.
Yep, they're sweating right now. Not sure whether or not Homeboys can actually do it and save them from their current predicament. Purple buff still secured by Amal as AERO takes full control over this bottom side. They want to make sure that Reza isn't that tanky. Worse yet, oh no.
Oh, they try to go for Kusei. They want this shutdown. Amal is still there in the back lines, but he gets pulled back in by Zeke, and Kusei secures it for his team. And now AERO, they're just looking at the eyes of Homeboys. AERO is an unmovable object. I thought it wouldn't have damage, but looks like Kusei, he's got it all. He can deal out as much as he can. His team just needs to stay alive.
Yep, it's 602 scoreline for Kusei. He's doing phenomenally this game. And Kim really making sure that nobody gets away scot-free. I think this time the outdraft is so clear, and worse yet for Homeboys, as much as they wanted to at least get the poke damage in, Izanami is getting zoned off continuously. Kim, good job. His milestone hit 800 total assists.
Zeke doesn't find the target just yet. The Tsunami Slam is going to be very, very crucial because at this point, considering that only Reza has the Purify, he can really catch on to anyone. And at this point, with Kusei 6-0-2, they should have the damage for it. Homeboys, because they're not using a catch composition, the comeback angle is not that great. But if we're looking at the items here, we do see the War Axe on both the CC as well as the Lancelot. The CC might just need the brute force, and then she might be okay because she wants to deal the continuous damage, and so far, unable to do that.
Yep, and we look at the items, and it's just so tanky all across the board. Oracle actually a quick early purchase coming in for Zeke, not to mention that he's also made sure to have the fleeting time. At this stage, I don't know how Homeboys are even going to find a kill onto AERO. It's just such a huge wall of HP to cut through.
Something that they've always done is they split the fight, where 3 members up front, 2 members coming in from behind. We can see Daniel positioning that way, and look at AERO. They know this coming. They know how Homeboys plays. Daniel tries to run away. Kim immediately using the Crimson Beacon, trying to catch him up, but now RWM catches Zeke. Zeke flickers up, but Emma still gets the kill. Gusei is godlike. Melcutie tried to run away, same as Reza. They got to abort Izanami, and Daniel is down. Looks like Melcutie is able to survive. Unable to say the save, but Reza Kusei gets the kill. 8-0-2. Full stacks at this point for the Sky Piercer.
Oh, and now sitting on top of the AERO, sitting on top of the Lord, AERO is going to blow through this. And Hazel, he's a little worried. He's a little worried to get low. But there's going to be a no contest for this Lord. They've got plenty of vision. This beefy lineup from the side of AERO, just a wall of HP. Until we see the Wishing Lantern come out from Izanami, a lot of the damage is going to be pretty irrelevant.
It's going to be pretty slow as well, because he's going for the Enchanted Talisman. After this, then maybe you can build that Wishing Lantern, and I would say their wave clear isn't the best. Eve is good, but everyone else, not amazing. AERO having almost 6,000 gold lead here. And the fact that AERO, they read out what Homeboys wanted to do. They knew where Daniel was. If they were, you know, Homeboys haven't shown that trick over and over again the past weeks, he might have gotten away with that.
And as the Lord starts to press on through, Holy Shieldings will start to come down one by one. First, starting off with the mid lane, instantly pops. And now they're waiting for the second wave, right? Homeboys have no reason to walk back out. The 6.6k lead, it is obvious that they are way more fed than they are, and they just have to take it, just have to defend.
They gotta wait for AERO to make a mistake, and Amal made that mistake. Daniel trying to get for a flank, but there's zero value for a Hilda at this point. Reza tries to run away. This Uranus is not that tanky anymore. And it looks like AERO, they're gonna do it. They're gonna get game number 1. Melcutie tries to go for a desperate play, but way too tanky. Nothing can be done. A Maniac, and now they're gonna give it over? Are they gonna give the Savage? No, they do not. AERO with almost 10,000 gold lead wins game number 1, and right now Gideon, the ranking number 1 to 10, it's getting shaken up. We might see a tie eventually.
Hey, the middle of the bracket is starting to look much better as AERO are trying to secure their playoff chance once and for all. If they get another victory, that means they're going to be moving on to that next stage and knocking down Untitled. Homeboys, on the other hand, I mean, they got to rethink that draft, right? They started off with the CC, they knew it was flying clouds, and then the setup was really nice from AERO as they realized very quickly, wait a minute, you guys don't have as much damage without any items, and this Eve isn't going to be a real problem if we just win out the first couple of neutrals.
They tried it out. Even I called out what potentially was going to be their strategy against this one, but it's very clear AERO did their homework. They know how Homeboys worked out, right? Where the flanks are coming in, but they're using heroes that doesn't impact that. Just unfortunate, man. But hey, AERO popped off.
AERO popped off. But can we talk about this Hilda pick? Why was the Hilda pick necessary in this lineup? Right? And it was picked so early on.
Second pick, yeah.
With no indication as to, is it a guaranteed assassin on the opposite end? Maybe it was just a hard read. Maybe it was just a blind call.
Honestly, now seeing the whole draft, maybe if they plan this Hilda from the very beginning, they really should let go of certain assassins, right? Don't ban out. Okay, maybe still ban out the Yushin Shin because Hilda still has problem with that, but Hayabusa, Joy, let it go, right? But again, hindsight is 2020. Maybe Homeboys thought there's no way Hazel's gonna pick up a tank. Hey, looks like he proved them wrong.
Yeah, it's kind of like they kind of forgot his entire hero pool because he has been playing a lot of assassins overall. Yep. Even so, I think that right now, we might have to see Homeboys go back to a traditional marksman on male QT, because again, the CC was doing okay in the lane, but then when
it would be better if it was EXP.
It probably would have been better if it was EXP out to raise that again, because that Uranus just wasn't doing enough. It's supposed to work as like a small combo because the Ion Edge is able to shred away MR, and it helps a lot with keeping people within artillery ranges, artillery mages ranges overall, the RWM in this particular case.
Right now we gotta look at the MVP for this one, and I kind of want to give it over to Smooth because he finally got a hero he can use, but we gotta give it over to Kusei, man. Getting that Maniac, Izanami denying that Savage away, but still, Kusei had a perfect game.
He did, and I think he's finally
learned. I see Coach Theo behind you.
Really? Is he worried about it? What does his face show?
Well,
he doesn't show not much.
He's just looking at the screen, man. So what does that tell you?
He's hoping. He's like, don't worry. There's still hope as long as
Kusei looks like Theo.
I mean, it's not like they're from the same region or anything. It'd be crazy if they were. Whoa.
I mean, we saw a Portuguese Filipino look basically Malay. I gotta say, Southeast Asia, we have the same most things. Do we have the same reproductive organ? Of course we do.
Yeah, sure. How else? I think that's more of a species thing than race.
Oh yeah, species than race. sorry. Human race. Forgot. Either way, Kusei had a perfect game. It looks like Mel tried to bully him out. Like Mel tried to take those
river crabs
traits. Just didn't work out in his favor. Kusei was more than ready for that.
Oh yeah, no, I think he's learned the matchup a lot better, right? Because previously when it was double fighters, he felt really uncomfortable playing into either Ruby or even into CC. Now, it feels like he understands the matchup a lot better, and it shows the work he's put into this, and not to mention that he was already coming out 12-0-2, a perfect game coming out from him. It helps them maintain that lead. I think that right now, Homeboys, it's really just a drafting thing more than anything else. They tried to make some blind calls, didn't work out the way that they wanted to, and not to mention all the keys to victories that we were hoping to see from the side of AERO were achieved relatively fast.
The draft, I feel like not all of it is bad. What do you think for Homeboys?
For Homeboys? I don't know. I feel like the Hilda was a bit unnecessary. Everything else I can kind of sort of work with. I feel like if Hilda changed up, then Reza's pick was probably going to change as well. Because it doesn't make sense if you would have either or, one without the other, when you already knew that CC was in the mix. And not to mention that they could have picked Ruby, worst comes to worst. They probably need to ban out the Baxia if they are going to start looking for like, oh, I want to play Hilda, I need to force that matchup, we need to still worry about tank junglers.
I really think it's just that Baxia has been a non-factor for a while, right?
True.
Because here in Malaysia, it's mostly assassins. Like every once in a while, we see Baxia, but it's very rare. Even for me, in my ranked games, I don't ban a Baxia anymore, but once a very good Baxia player comes online, even I'm surprised by how tanky the Baxia can be. Because I believe even last week, I forgot who used the Baxia and it was not tanky at all. But it's because first item went for the Molten Essence.
Yes.
I forgot who it was, but no wonder you're not tanky, right? And now they're just reminded back again. So I hope this is a wake-up call for Homeboys, because of this, Homeboys cannot go to the upper bracket. They suffered a big loss, honestly, by losing this one game.
They have. But it doesn't mean that they're still completely out of it, right? I mean, there's still Reza's revenge, and I'm pretty sure Reza's going to the back as like, Coach, come on. Don't put me on that Uranus no more. I don't want none of that. Give me something new. Put me on that CC. Put me on that Benedetta. Put me on a Lapu at the very least. Let me get involved in these team fights rather than just zoning out my opponents, because Amal needs a little bit of help. And I mean, I'm not going to lie. There were moments where they got a little desperate to try and jump Kusei. Even Izanami on that top side, flickering forward to get a setup with the RWM to try and catch Kusei at the edge of it just wasn't enough.
I guess if it worked out, it would look good, but at that point, you're kind of too low in terms of gold, too low in terms of damage. Maybe if Izanami had 3 items, it could have worked, because just having the Glowing Wand and the Enchanted Talisman, it's more of a poke build rather than destroying them very fast build, right? Maybe instead of an Enchanted Talisman, even go for something crazy like a Genius Wand. Might have been able to kill Kusei in combination.
Really? I don't know. I feel like the Enchanted Talisman is sort of a must-have on Yve.
Not
it
really.
consumes a lot of mana, especially if you're trying to like poke somebody out after.
Yeah. No, it's like it's a very poke kind of item. It's not like a all-in kind of item.
I see.
I feel like your build you have this idea, I'm just going to stay in the back line, no one's going to bother me, so I'm just going to be poking them out. Good idea, right? But then when the game shifts and then you change the way that you play, basically he played like a Lunox, but he didn't build like a Lunox, you know?
Maybe you should have picked Farsa instead, right? Because
Yeah,
at least then
yeah,
it will
yeah.
make a little bit more sense of trying to damage the backliners without having to go through the front line in the first
True.
place. But even so, it's still a strong game coming up from AERO. Rich Guy the carry, no surprises going over to Kusei. Sandbag goes over to Reza's side, and Hazel still being the best wingman. Now this time on the Baxia. So a harsh reminder for the homeboys this time around, and pretty short game otherwise. 12 minutes, 27 seconds.
I would say Reza, this is his repetition on the line, right? He really wants to take down AERO because he has a lot to prove. Don't know how the relationship is between him and the other players. Is it good? Is it bad? Next game, if he does want to go for this again, I would prefer a Lapu or just him using the CC. I'm not super impressed with the Uranus here.
Yeah, me neither. Me neither. I get the idea, but it's not enough. It's an old style of play, just having, you know, two different types of synergies working in your composition of 5. But then you can see like the bigger problems, right? And again, this very first turtle fight, I don't know why they were looking to contest it. More so, Amal kind of jumped in pretty early on, and they knew that Zeke was eventually going to hit level 4, right? This was dragged out for a good period of time.
I'm getting an update here. So if Untitled wants to go to the playoff, they gotta make sure that they match AERO. Meaning like, if AERO wins 2-0 here, they need to 2-0 SRG. If AERO loses 1-2 against Homeboys,
they just need one game from SRG.
Exactly.
Dang.
So they need to match AERO. So if AERO gets 2-0 here, bruh, final opponent being SRG, kind of don't want to be on that spot.
Yeah, no, it's starting to become pretty unwinnable from that point forward, right? Oh man, I don't know how they're going to be coming back from this. I mean, they're hoping that the Homeboys finds the reverse sweep at the very end here, but this was a short game, and the most that I can say really just boiled down to the draft. Really nicely done from Panda, you know. You got to see the angle for this, got to see the potential flaw that Homeboys eventually fell into. It was a good read, but now we need to see an adjustment. Maybe going on to red side might be the way to go, just so you can get a rough idea and you don't have to go blind.
So I see Rossi, I see Subway, I see Siska.
They're all watching here.
They're all there. And imagine right? Y'all suck. After having their games, like, come on, man.
They're heckling from the back row as well.
How could you lose that?
Come on.
Imagine, right? They're not doing it, but imagine, right? After having a hard game against GMXK, I was like, I could play better.
Yeah, I could hit that retry for sure.
Bro. Is that how I play Uranus? Come on.
Oh boy. It's a stressful day here and a lot of tension here in Dewan Sri Putra.
It's nice week 6 that it's stressful.
That's the thing,
because
right?
usually week 6 we're just like, let's just get this over with.
I feel the same because week 4 was like the only other stressful week because a lot of teams were like trying to make sure that they make it there. But now we start to look at what you guys have answered. It looks like a lot of you went for Amal with no surprises, being 85%. Obviously the 15% is to the Indonesian Pride peoples in the chat itself, of course. Keep supporting your boy. He's doing well for now. We'll see whether they can close out the game, though.
Just now they voted for Skyza, and then look what happened in game number 1.
Audience curse?
Audience, what are you doing?
Fan curse?
At this point, we gotta talk to Moonzan. It's like, stop asking this kind of question. If you're putting only 2 players, something bad is gonna happen. Remember when we had 3 answers and it was just like, oh, what do they need to change? You know, the draft, the strategy. When it's like, which player is better? Pump. Loss.
Oh, that's true. When we did have three options, at least then we can tell who's not as brave in chat. But this time around, I think, you know, unfortunately in this particular case, they just need a breather, right? Homeboys just need to rethink because it's not like they made huge mistakes in the game. It's just like, what are we supposed to do with the tools that we're given, right?
Well, if Cho gets banned, then just pick up the Kalia early, right?
Yes, and I think that right now, both Panda and as well as their assistant coach is working hard to try and get these draft orders down. And usually when AERO wins out on their first game, they slightly change the draft to throw a wrench, a bit of a curveball to Homeboys' side. We'll see whether or not that's going to be the case this time around, because again, from week 4 onwards, they've kind of slowed down and tried many different draft ideas, but they're taking first pick again.
It's interesting, we're not looking at YouTube chat, but my WhatsApp is kept blowing up, man. A bunch of people talking, mostly just the same people. People I recognize. It's because right now they're also talking about later on, AERO will be going up against Team Ray.
Yeah.
And if they win against Team Ray, it's gonna be more difficult for Untitled to get in. So I gotta say, Friday, Saturday, which is both days that you're working, you're gonna be working on the games that
I'm working just Saturday. Sunday, I'm not going to be around.
Maybe Sunday doesn't matter anymore.
Honestly, that probably could be the case.
Right, because Saturday
is the big games.
Friday and Saturday, these are the games that will change lives. Because one guy might not get a girlfriend after this.
One guy might not get a girlfriend after this. Ooh!
Right.
Ooh, that's sad.
Because it's like, would you come if I go to the playoffs? What if he doesn't go to the playoffs? What if she goes to the playoffs and then finds someone else?
That's the word. Mr. Steal Yo Girl!
Oh my god!
Extra beef for the following season of the franchise.
What? Oh, bro.
It'd be funny if the girlfriend is also an influencer so they can actually go public with
Night
it.
sky tells all.
Please don't.
Why? Because then there's more drama. That's what everybody wants. More solid storylines.
Who would she take? Who's the single roamer?
Who's a single roamer?
I mean, Zorn's married.
Zorn's married man. Yep.
Maybe Yums?
Could be. I don't really know, to be fair.
He just wins a lot of championships. You know?
He's kind of busy.
Probably has a lot of money. So if she's gonna choose anyone,
Zeke.
oh no, that will hurt. That will hurt.
Think about it.
It will hurt even more if Ziki has a girlfriend and then she makes him break up with the girlfriend so that she can have that last laugh.
We're just hypothesizing here. We're not.
No, this is not a real thing, guys.
This is not real at all. But
this is basically a podcast.
It is. But once again, we once again get the flying clouds, and we have to keep in mind what's going to happen here. Bad matchups need to be thought of. You really need to think about how the 5v5s are playing more than the lane matchup itself. Hayabusa, the Cho, alongside with the Lunox banned out for the side of AERO. Homeboys getting rid of the Fanny alongside with the Angela. But this time the Esmeralda is going to get banned out.
Esmeralda is interesting. Maybe they're like, that's the only hero that Smooth can use.
No, I'm pretty sure they want to go for something like Eve again. Set up for the Eve once more, because again, Izanami never got to play the game as soon as Smooth got into his face.
Now the problem is they have CC now. Still an option. Go EXP or gold. You could go either way. I kind of feel like they should pick up Kalia here. I think they need to go back to pick off
Lapu Kalia.
I'm okay with that. Or even Granger Kalia.
Granger Kalia is also not a bad shout here for Mel QT at the very least. No, but as long as they lock in their gold laner. Not gold laner, but gold hero within the first phase, it should be fine. I think the Kalia should be fine. Jushin shows up. Kalia also shows up for the side of the Homeboys. And now let's see what AERO reveals. I think at this stage, they probably don't want to... no, but they kind of have to. They kind of have to lock in their goal. Because if we're going based on patterns, Kusei naturally is more inclined to getting his gold lane early on within the draft rather than later.
I kind of feel like you need to take a Grok here. Something to deter the Kalia away, because if not, I'm looking at your roamers gonna get banned out. Personally, for me, I would take a Grok because other roamers not gonna have a good time against the Jushin as well.
Yep.
Unless you want to go for healers, but I don't think that's ZKF kind of hero, you know?
No, but more so, I feel like he still wants to make big plays. But with Jushin, it can be a little difficult here. Last 5 seconds before they decide. It looks like it's gonna be Baxia and Kimmy this time round. They don't get a roamer, interestingly enough.
Possibly thinking that Homeboys might be too focused on banning maybe gold lane so that there's more options for roam. And if they ban so many roam, then a lot of options for gold. Homeboys, I think Amal has a lot in his pocket when it comes to the jungle. Maybe he will let it go, but maybe pick up a Lancelot here because you need something for the Kalia. Okay, they pick up the Granger.
Okay, Granger, I think Granger is okay. They still have option for EX, like damage style EXP laners. They can go for like Benedetta Lapu for all intents and purposes. Ways to kind of make this Kalia kind of work with some rough, I say rough burst because again, they still need a little bit of time. It's not instantaneous damage, but they just need enough lockdown to get it out properly. The second half of the draft is going to be interesting though, because at this stage, we see that AERO, they've locked in their mid laner, the EXP alongside with their jungle, missing out on their roam. They get ult, but they decide to ban out the Uranus. Kind of interesting.
So they do think the CC is going gold, but then AERO, after seeing the bans, they're like, screw it, we're putting CC EXP.
Yeah, I mean, why not, right? Why not? Let's see what the next ban coming in from AERO. That might give us a bit of an indication of whether or not they want to go double fighters.
I think they'll ban out Lance. Yisenshin is still open as well. They ban out Alice.
Alice? I guess this is indication that they want to go double fighters, right?
Yep.
Because Alice generally is good, especially if there's a bunch of heroes that want to be in your face. And if we're talking about raw sustain, Alice has got some of the best in the early game.
Now, what does Homeboys ban here? I kind of feel like ban out Roamer, unless you're really not too concerned about Grog, but I kind of feel like they should, because Grog does do well against pickoff as well as assassins, especially something like a Lancelot, where you can kind of force them to make a mistake when they puncture in.
So it's either they get, it depends, right? It's pick a poison. Do they get rid of the Grog, or do they also decide to kind of lead away from things like Gathon, for an example, which has been a natural counter to the Kalia specifically? Oh, looks like they decide to double down on towards Grog's side. AERO.
Ban Lapu?
Ban Lapu, ban Bene. Are there any better? No, it doesn't matter. Esmeralda's already out of the picture. Uranus is also out of the picture as well. Yeah, there's not a lot of EXP picks. I mean, unless Rezo's confident in playing like a winning matchup like Paquito.
Yeah, I was thinking Paquito, yeah.
Yeah, into the CC, but you'll never really know.
I mean, you can pick jungle first.
Oh, that's true.
Right, pick jungle first, wait until the end, and then pick up your winning matchup.
Ban Lance, right?
Now to think about it, Amal, I'm thinking, does he want to flex again? They ban out the Joy. The Lancelot as well as the Yisenshin is open. I feel like both is good, especially Yisenshin. You can possibly chain CC with the Kalia.
That's true. You can, but then I'm more worried about like the mid lane prio here, because no matter what, even though you have Jushin alongside with the Kalia, the wave clear is a bit of a question mark. And if they happen to like kind of give up that pressure to try and go for the harass, then that means that AERO can go for like early level engages on towards like Litho Wanderer, for an example, which I don't think right now Homeboys has the lineup to deal with just yet.
I wonder, do you want to pick your jungler last or your EXP last? Especially for me, I kind of want EXP last.
Yeah, because I feel like no matter what jungler you get, it's kind of like a non-factor.
Yeah.
You get Fredrin, it's like, okay, you know exactly what you're expecting with the Boxia matchup. You go Lance, same thing. Huh?
Oh, I'm not liking this.
Why?
I don't know the obsession with Hilda.
Why do they want somebody to always try to go for the... I mean, don't get me wrong, Reza plays one of the meanest Hildas in the league so far. But you already know that as Boxia, it's already kind of scuffed for you to a degree. I mean, sure, maybe you'll get like decent trades against CC, assuming that it goes into the EXP, but even then, why?
I'm not... I don't think Hilda really wins a lot of matchups. At most, you can go even with the CC. I don't know, man. I really don't like the Hilda pickup, because it feels like a one-trick pony where you go to the early game, you harass the jungler, and then after that, what's next? Like, Yums made it look amazing, but he was against an assassin.
Dang.
Who's an assassin here?
Yeah.
At most, you can... Even the Kimmy is not going to be easy. She's just gonna Starlium you, and then like, what? You're immobilized. What are you going to do?
I don't know, but right now AERO has basically been given everything that they've ever wanted, right? They've got exactly what they want to do. They've got the Harith on their side. They've got a good amount of magic scaling. They've also got the Hylos to kind of speed this process up with good peel alongside with Kimmy, making that early game fight not as easy for the mid laner, the mid trio to get stuff done. Now Homeboys kind of back themselves into the corner because of the Hilda pick. Now what? Lancelot, you're gonna get stunned.
Alpha might be okay. There's a lot of tanky people. Maybe true damage should be good.
That's kind of yes and no.
I mean, there's wave clear, so you're kind of hoping for Mel to just carry later on. Amal himself can carry. We've seen him on the Benedetta, and it worked out really well. But I kind of feel like Benedetta is also another option, just in case if they lose, someone needs to clear the lane.
I guess. I mean, there is a big outplay potential by like going for the eye for an eye, catching maybe 2 or 3 people, dodging CC, and then stunning 2 targets. I think that's like the only time we're expected to see Homeboy make the big turnaround. Even so, I'm not 100% sure about this composition that we're seeing from the Homeboys. The obsession with Hilda, Again, we'll see whether the early game goes into the favor of Homeboys or not, because if AERO plays a solid game and they control their waves, and most importantly, if they're able to get their mid-trio out early on with the help of Zkeef, then they can do so much. And I think a lot of the game is just based on the performance of Smooth right now. If he can keep Reza in check, the early game is pretty much done for them.
I'm colorblind to green, Gideon, but I saw a lot of Purifies on the side of AERO. The Hylos is on that Revitalize as well. I'm worried even if they do get a catch, can they kill?
I don't think so. I think there is a significant lack of damage, for at least for the earlier stages of the game. Maybe Benedetta alongside with the Hilda should be enough, but when are we going to expect to see that fight actually happen, right? Now, Jungler's starting on opposite sides of the map. At least for Amal, he will end up towards gold side. For Hazel, he will end up towards EXP side.
Right now, AERO's mid trio is bullying Daniel and Izanami out of their lane. Izanami taking quite a lot of damage, but Amal is here. Amal goes for Kim. Kim tries to get close with Zkeef. He does have their Revitalize, but Daniel still gets their first blood. Kim gets taken down, and now Reza is here in the party as well. They're looking for Zkeef, and then they're gonna get Zkeef. A better early game here for Homeboys. Early rotation coming in from Reza.
And that's the only way they can actually win, right? By sending resources down. Reza, that was a very early rotation here, but he will be losing out on EXP in his lane. Hopefully that kill makes up for it. He does run Concussive Blast and Wilderness Blessing. He only misses out one minion as he gets to the bottom side.
Yep. Looking at the grand skin of things, looks like he's not going to be punished so much. He might get level 4 a little bit late, but as long as Homeboys they can delay it, it should be okay. Especially with the comp that Homeboys has. Maybe their idea is not really just to secure those objectives, get the kill. Especially if you kill Kim. Kim on that Purify, not able to run away from Amal.
Yeah, speaking of which, it looks like they're setting up for a potential dive here. Reza, unfortunately, unless he uses those back bushes to heal himself up, he's going to try his best to try and maintain this pressure smooth. He's playing the lane extremely well.
Yep, and now with the presence of Izanami as well as Daniel, they prevent Reza from getting bullied out so much. Daniel doesn't have the Tsunami Slam just yet. So Homeboys, they're playing quite defensively here, understanding that AERO can really punish them hard.
It's a really good block against the freeze and a potential dive, and now most people have hit level 4, right?
Ooh.
Even Reza as well.
Look at Mel. Mel is moving down, and Izanami gets taken down by Hazel. Reza having to flicker out. Daniel still doesn't have anything, and a pause was asked. I wonder if that's from Izanami, because he should not be in that position.
Yeah.
Because there's no catching hero from AERO.
Exactly, right? So what exactly happened to him? Did he just walk up too far? Did he press a button and then he suddenly Lantern Flare underneath the turret? What exactly happened? We're not sure, but it looks like our marshals are coming on over to check what exactly the issue is. Feels like...
Oh, it might be AERO side.
Is it AERO side that made that call? I'm not seeing the Type 1, Type 2 issue. Okay, it's a Type 1 issue called from on Hazel from AERO's side. So it wasn't even the Homeboys. So that means Izanami just fumbled it.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on. Either way, it has been confirmed. We have confirmed it, but Homeboys cannot make it to the upper brackets because now maximum points for Homeboys is 17 points. And CG, without any more games, is already at 18.
Yeah.
So no chance for now. But either way, big fumble from Izanami. I would say from all of Homeboys, because again, it was off screen, but an engage happened, and I don't know again. I'm speechless.
I'm also lost for words.
I'm so lost.
Homeboys
What was
are
that?
Not playing too great right now. I'm not sure what exactly. Is it a breakdown of communication? Is it just people are just not on it today?
Is it because Lunox and Joe was banned?
Yeah. Was it because they're so tilted from their signature picks getting taken away? Is that like it can't be that?
How dare they?
I really think
if you're a man's man,
fight me.
If you're like Escanor, Lion Sin of Pride, you let go of those picks.
You let go of those picks. You let me choose what I want. Let's get back into the game. Thanks for the call. Our Marshal's ready to send us back into the land of Dawn. Let's jump right into it.
Yep, and now looking back here, it looks like Daniel is inside the turret. Traction Pulse is going to bring him back in, and Hazel secures the kill. Amal, oh, he actually guts two there. Tries to get away. Not sure if it's entirely worth it. But I guess mentally it was good, getting 2 kills.
They also get the turtle as well, right? He doesn't lose any pressure.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't lose any pressure, and Hazel, again, not huge level lead just yet. Amal is going to be a little bit slower, of course, but should end up at roughly the same level once they kind of go for the full clears. Even so, you see how Daniel and Izanami going to be playing here, because Izanami's been taking a lot of punishment.
Yeah, having to use the flicker. It doesn't have the Crimson Beacon just yet. The slow coming in from Zekiv was quite terrifying.
Izanami didn't need to use his flicker, to be fair.
Hey. He died just now.
I mean, Daniel blocked the shot for him, right? Like, again, communication would be key. Like, if Daniel says, you don't have the flicker, I'm going to block this shot, don't worry about it.
He cares for Daniel. He doesn't want Daniel to be hurt. Okay?
Daniel, don't hurt yourself.
No,
Flickers backwards.
It's okay. I can take care of myself.
I'm an independent Zushin.
Oh, speaking of which, Zekiv gets 400 total assists. Smoke gets targeted down, and he's still surviving, but not for long. Izanami gets it, but now Zekiv dives in. Traction Pulse pulls Izanami. Nothing can be done. Izanami's going to get taken down. And Daniel doesn't help out.
Yeah, I mean, Reza can't really do much as well, right? Even Daniel, fortunately, just not in position. Amal is nearby, goes in.
Yep, he actually wants this one, but look at Reza. Reza goes for Kim. Kim does not have flicker, but Reza doesn't commit to it. Even with Amal coming to bring the cavalry, they could not get Kim.
I'm surprised.
I thought he would have gone for it.
I thought he would have died for it as well. I mean, his flicker was coming back up as he didn't have his flicker at that point of time, but it was coming back up. I was thinking maybe he could have gone for the kill, run past the tower, and then maybe try to make a flicker later. But right now, the most important thing, neutral objective is coming up, and he wants to stay disciplined for now.
Izanami trying to zone people away, same as Reza, down a bot, fine smooth. Zekiv looks like they're gonna let it go, not gonna contest against Amal. And in terms of the movements coming in, Homeboys actually does have the gold advantage here. Not much, around 400, but still, it's something.
It's a slight advantage, and I think for now, until we see QT start to get involved into these bigger fights, I don't think it's much of a game, right? Homeboys, they're going even, and I think that's more than they can ask for, considering the fights have been progressing in very weird manners. But now they've been doing this every single time. They found the push.
Right now, they caught Smooth. Smooth is outside of turret range, can't help him out. Reza secures the kill. This is like what, the second or third gank over to Smooth. Looks like they got a game plan, and that game plan is take down Smooth.
Oh no.
MLBB reveals himself, has to use the flicker. Kuze marches forward, doesn't even need Hazel. Zekiv gets the kill. Don't think it was worth it to reveal your position.
I think it's worth it if you clear that wave, right? If you're just going for that last hit with the Death Sonata, I get it. But they might try another attempt here. No Tsunami Slime just yet. Daniel doesn't have his ult as they continue to just push them away. It's about border control.
Trash Impulse, as well as the Sardium, it's onto Izanami. The damage is not there just yet. In terms of turrets, I would say good trade. Both AERO as well as Homeboys, both getting tier 1s. The positioning of Daniel here looks like he wants to go for a catch, but not a lot of damage just yet because Mel doesn't have a single stack of Skypiercer.
Oh, okay. Warrior's Pathway going to get thrown out as well. They thought they could intercept them, knowing that their ult is gone, as well as Hazel alongside Kim's ult. This stage, does Homeboys want to try and make an attempt on that top side? I mean, they're sitting around at junction points, right? Looking to potentially cut off supply lines. As you see that Amal has already positioned himself down by the bottom side as Homeboys, 4 members here to try and make something happen.
Zekiv is tanking for the side of AERO. Traction Pulse hits onto no one. Hazel still marches forward so far. The only guy there, Zaman Force, not hitting onto anyone. Amal is soloing the turtle, secures it for himself. A botch engage coming in from AERO.
Yep, and now, again, this is great for specifically Amal. He gets a free push down on that bottom side, and Homeboys really sold the idea that a majority of them were hiding on that top, even leaving the side camps as well to sell the idea even more. Wasn't even expecting the fight to break out that way.
Most of the gold now is probably on to Amal. MLBB hasn't been involved just yet. Pretty sure he does have 2 items here, Hunter Strike as well as the Sky Piercer. All he needs is maybe let Homeboys chunk down Zekiv low enough and then just get those final hits, you know? 3 stacks, I think is enough for Mel.
Well, And now they start breaking out the fight instantly with Tsunami Slam.
Tsunami Slam onto the front line here. Izanami has to save himself. A killing spree over to Kim. Kim in the back line. Melcutie gets one. He gets that shutdown. Kusei finds Izanami, but now he doesn't have the Zaman Force. Melcutie flickers to save his teammate. Killing spree for Reza. And now Emma secures the kill. Not a lot of stacks for Melcutie, but I don't think Homeboys is complaining.
Yep, now this composition is coming to life. Look at the damage that Amal is able to provide, and he's communicating well with Reza because it's the both of them working in tandem with each other, which is why we feel like Amal is doing so much damage. He's shredding the armors, cutting that backline off. Kim has faced it already. Kusei has dealt with that damage, and they just need Zeke, Hazel, and Smooth to get them off their backs. They need the peel. And look at this, Hazel only completing his very first item already, the anti-cuirass, just to protect himself. Because Amal, very interesting, going for the War Axe straight into the Brute Force breastplate. From this point onwards, I would have imagined that he was also going to make sure that he gets Sky Piercer, but no, he's going to say, I'm just going to go full Bruiser at this point.
Yeah, I'm really thinking they're banking on Melcutie to get those stacks, basically having the same kind of game that Kusei had, but just a little bit more options. The Lord has spawned here. It's just a 9-minute Lord. Izanami having to use his ult just to get away the Crimson Beacon. It's not going to be that big of a deal, not crucial for the Jushin, but still, it's something that AERO got. Hazel finds Daniel, and Daniel has to flicker out. Looks like he's gonna use his ult to pull Hazel back into turret range. Amal goes in, but Kusei with his armor force gets a kill over to Amal on the back line. Reza is getting pushed away by Kim. AERO, they're having the better team fight here just because a botch coming in from Amal, unable to get a kill.
Yeah, no, Amal, he knew he messed up, right? And Smooth, he's holding up that vengeance because he gets so many procs off of the Electro Final Blow. Amal has to be careful about this. It happened 2 other times, not as successful, but now, next fight breaks out.
Trash and Pulse hits onto the roamer. Daniel gets taken down by Kim. Nothing much that he can do. Homeboy should let this go. Zaman forced by Kusei just to zone them away. Looks like Homeboy, they still want to contest this.
For the chase.
Now they go for it. Reza wants to get the front line. Melcutie gets Hazel. At least that's 1 stack for Mel. So they don't lose absolutely everything.
They punch above their weight, and even Amal trying to get back into this fight after dying initially helps them zone out the rest of the targets to secure mid-tier 1. So yes, they do get something back, but AERO, with a Lord-empowered wave, if they can find their own mid-tier 1, that would be amazing.
Speaking of which, right now, Izanami has to be the enabler for his team. He has been using the Crimson Beacon to save himself, which again, that is what he's supposed to do. But it will be very nice if you're able to peel ZK, peel Hazel away from Amal so that he can do his work.
Speaking of his work, notice that Smooth is on the opposite side of the map, trying to steal away that purple buff as soon as possible. Unfortunately, won't be able to do it in time. Only is able to take the small camp, but secures at least a T2. Team 1 mid, it's still wide out in the open, allowing Homeboys an easy means to kind of fall back towards a safe haven from neutral objectives for upcoming fights. Even so, at least Melcutie has only taken 1 death so far, right? But he still needs stacks, and these fights have not been easy with so many frontliners from the side of AERO who's able to just soak shots.
But this is still not a good situation because when your side lanes have very little protection, it does make it more difficult when it comes to the Lord Dancers, especially if AERO is able to get at least 1 inhibitor. It's gonna ruin the decision-making coming in from Homeboys, especially with their comp. It's kind of all in here, where once the Kalia goes in, grabs someone, if you get a kill, your comp suddenly looks strong. If you don't get a kill, most of the potential is kind of gone there.
Yeah, and fortunately, I don't know how they're going to do it, right? Because again, these wombo combos really depend on specifically Amal landing the Electro Final Blow, because that's the major source of damage.
And not on Smooth.
And not on Smooth. And Smooth doesn't he can just walk into the Electro Final Blow afterwards, right? So these team fights, they gotta kind of pry AERO apart somehow. I'm not sure what the cross sections are gonna look like for the upcoming fight.
Homeboys, they're trying to deal with the side waves here, making it so that 1 person is doing it all alone and then 3 to 4 members dealing with the opposite side. Looking at the items here, I feel like a crucial item here for Melcutie is having that Sea Halberd. So the healing should be able to deal with, but now Izanami having to flicker out of the Zaman Force. Kusei taking quite a lot of damage from the shots coming in from Melcury, and Daniel goes in the back line. Look at Reza. Reza goes for them, but Z-Kim is there as the front line, having to run away. Kim still gets the kill. Amal is on the hunt. Amal actually gets onto Kim. Kusei is there. Amal doesn't know. Hazel able to roll on out. AERO almost revealed the position of Kusei.
Nearly sold him out there. They still punch above their weight. Daniel's life for Kim's life. And you can see that even though the Electo Final Blood was only used to close the distance through that mid lane, Amal has more than enough damage once he gets involved, when he gets just enough stacks of that War Axe to take out Kim. There's not a lot of counterplay Kim actually has after he uses the hover jets, but now they gotta be real careful.
Zikiv as well as Hazel, they're on to Izanami. He has to use his ult to run away, but he gets taken down. And Melcury in the back, Smooth already ties him down. Melcury still has the damage. He gets a kill over to Smooth. And then look at Amal, he's going for Kim. Kim is guiding back. Hazel has no HP, same as Zikiv. Amal gets that kill. Melcury, the fact that he survived against Smooth gives options for homeboys.
Smooth thought he had that kill, but unfortunately MelQT manages to survive with the help of the Impure Rage. Really the difference maker in this battle. This is going to be what we're hoping to see from the homeboys. All risk, finally getting the reward at the end.
Amal as well, crucially going for the main targets, Kusei as well as Kim, and then anyone in his way, he will try his best to take them down as well. But so far, he's not going all kamikaze. He goes in, gets a kill, he doesn't force it. If I don't have to be here, I'm not going to be here.
He takes his time now, because this 4-1 split has been working out really well for the homeboys, as AERO has been sticking as 5 as a deep death ball. MelQT's damage 59,000 to Amal's 45,000 so far. Smooth is the only person who comes remotely close to the rest of them.
Look at that. Look at Reza now having the Blade of Heptases. He wants that on-hit damage. Daniel's not going to engage onto anyone, but the Tsunami Slam is there. Melcury using his shots, trying to deal with AERO. Traction Pulse pulls onto Daniel. Amal looking for a position. Daniel jumps in. It looks like they're going to be happy with one inhibitor.
Won't be able to get any more off of this. Even with the second Lord Empowered Wave, they're not going to waste any time. They're going to deny the gold from the jungle side, because now we're coming to a point where we're getting to the late stages of the game. And when we're talking about the late stages of the game, Kusei, he's going to be a bit of a problem, but they are ult dependent. That's something that homeboys can take advantage of, right? As much as Smooth and as well as Kim can play for those long, prolonged fights, same goes for Hazel and Zikif, they will eventually have to depend on their battle spells. And so far, homeboys, the reason why they are looking for these big wins in these fights, having like 2 or 3 consecutive fights, one after each other, it's a war of attrition.
Looking at the items here, Amal and Reza, they have a one-track mind almost, right? You go for Kusei or Kim. Either or you kill, you're going to be happy, because I don't see any other reason for Reza to build the Blade of Heptases here if it's not just to chunk them down long enough so that Amal can do work. Or Mel, either or, right? Doesn't matter who gets the kill as long as the backline die.
We'll see whether or not the backline is going to be able to outplay it, because again, it's not like they were given mobility. Kusei doesn't have Flicker, right? He's taking Purify. Same goes for Kim. They are both worried about Daniel. So that's why there's just so much focus on homeboys. If Daniel tries to catch somebody, especially if it's Kusei or Kim, and they see that Purify, it's an all go, all signal to fight.
Hazel jumps in. He finds Amal, but eye for an eye out of there. Now Reza isolated, having to use the Flicker. He's been tied down by the current call, taking a lot of damage from Smooth, still survives. AERO, a lot of engaged power there. MelQT shooting the shots, making sure that he stops the chase. And I gotta say, for Baxia, that might be the most scariest bush in MLBB history.
Hey, man.
It's make or break for Baxia players.
Look, it's called the Kyrie bush for a reason, dude. It's
a Kumar bush.
The Kumar bush. It's dangerous. It's so very dangerous. But somebody's got to open up this map, and I think that unfortunately, Zikif has too big of a role in terms of peeling compared to Hazel to make that difference. Even though Retribution is an important battle spell, but half the time we're not even like, oh, wait, hold on. Quick sneak away from Amal. Because Amal did start the Lord initially, and AERO was starting to sniff things up. They were like, wait a minute, this is a little suspicious.
Purple buff for Izanami, so they want to make sure that he's more involved in the fight here. Concentrated energy for Kim, able to stay in the fight for a longer period of time. And ZK using the glorious pathway. It looks like they're not going to commit. AERO, they're on the Lord. Amal is still hovering. Amal, one of the best junglers here in Malaysia, able to get a lot of wins in the Retribution battle. You can tell the AERO, they're taking this cautiously.
Dancing for as long as possible. Now keep in mind, homeboys still have an advantage on that top side. That missing inhibitor. Izanami is deep in enemy territory as well.
This is the homeboys flank. Like, homeboys.
Wait, it's happening right now. They're starting it off.
They find Hazel with Attraction Pulse, gets Mel QD, and now having... Oh, hold on, what's going on here? Amal gets scouted out by Kusei, and now Reza has to give his life away. And he doesn't. Hazel doesn't commit for it because Mel Cutie is on the backline. This is what Homeboys does best. They split the team fight up into 2 sections. So AERO will never know who to prioritize.
You gotta give it to Kusei though, he 2v1'd it, but now another target. Daniel in trouble.
But Kusei already has the Zaman Force. He goes for Izanami. Izanami doesn't have the mana just yet. Amal has to get away. Daniel still tanking in the front line, same as Reza. Immortality pop. Malcutie from the back. Kim gets a kill over to Daniel and shut down as well. Kim gets Reza. Amal has to get away right now. Kim is a monster. Zaman Force being used by Kusei, not hitting onto it. Oh! Izanami almost gets taken down there by the Wishing Lantern.
Now, surprisingly enough, despite losing 2 members and committing so many battle spells, it's kind of a net nothing, right? Because again, mid-late wave gets clear. Amal denied an opportunity to go for that back door, and they still can get back into this fight, right? Amal, it's all up to you right now.
Mel is doing his best to shoot the shots. And now they go for ZK in the backline. Izanami looks like he's taking aggro from Kusei. The Zaman Force is used. A lot of abilities have been used by AERO. They gotta make sure that they're careful for this one. They want for Amal. They know they can't take this chance. Curtain call on Amal. Izanami is there. This is so intense. This is one of the longest Lord dances.
Electo!
Amal goes in. He gets the Lord to make a kill for Mel Cutie. Homeboys, the front line are taking the hits by Kim, but they don't care. Kim now using the Wind of Nature to survive against Mel. I would say both have one Gideon 15 kills to 15. One gets a Lord, one gets a lot of kills.
God damn! This is why you can see that AERO did not want to let Homeboys anywhere near the Lord Pit. Why they would prefer fighting. But when you come down to the wire, you just have to risk it 50-50, and Amal comes up big time with the Electo final, eye for an eye, straight into the Retribution, and now AERO locked back at square one.
Now Izanami has the Jushin item, the Wishing Lantern. ZK gotta be careful, same as Hazel. But Homeboys, they gotta be careful of the cooldown times of AERO because their cooldowns are surprisingly short. I mean, like, we know about the Harif, right? Very short cooldowns on the Zaman Force, but I'm surprised by how quickly the Glorious Pathway is always available.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Right now, another milestone being earned by Mel QT, 400 kills in his competitive career. This man has been known as the ordinary marksman for a reason, but if those kills keep racking up, it's going to be very difficult to keep calling him that.
21 minutes in, Hazel as well as ZK, highest damage taken ranking, followed up by Reza and Daniel. Kim having that Holy Crystal. This is going to be a nightmare for the front lines here because we talked about how Hilda will fall off. And honestly, yes, support fighter, but Kalia is not a tank, man. You do catch very well, but you can't stay in the front lines so long. You can heal it up, but again, you can't take it that long.
Yeah, I think right now, the only outplay that they can do is to line up the Electo final blow in the same direction as Kusei's, alongside with Kusei's Zaman Force. Now, another milestone also here, 1.8k total assist by Smooth in his competitive career. Why he's also one of the few legends. He's been playing for a while, man.
Oh yeah, such a long time. People even call him Lord Smooth. Because he had a bad few seasons, now Glorious Pathway. Oh, look at Hazel, he went to the back. Tried to do the Homeboys flank. But now Homeboys, they're able to kite out of there. Reza still waiting for the For the side,
Oh,
Daniel
it's good!
jumps in. He gets multiple knockouts here, but Daniel's taking quite a lot of damage from this Zaman Force. But now Emma looking for Kim. Kim is all the way to the side. No one's taking damage from him, but Melcutie is untouched either. Emma clears the wave. Smooth wants to take down Daniel. Immortality pop. Melcutie gets Hazel in the back line. Smooth wants to deal with Emma. Emma uses. He froze in time. No damage is gonna get taken out.
Wait.
Reza. Immortality pop. And now look at Daniel, look at Daniel, look at Daniel.
Oh!
Will he try to end the game right now? Here's the roam, here's the support. Can he do it? Looks like
back.
Smooth. Smooth gets back.
Woo!
What a stressful chain of events. And now Melcutie is denying the recalls.
They're dead even, but Hazel is dead and Reza is gone. They're still punching above their weight. Homeboys, despite an insanely messy fight, were able to finally break the battle lines of AERO, forcing them in all different directions as AERO needs to move as one in a traditional front to back. Homeboys does not like that one bit. They still have their advantages. That missing inhibitor is really costing AERO everything because it's not like they're finding unwinnable positions. They're finding these winnable positions, but they still have to do their housekeeping because if they don't, they lose the game.
And now we gotta look at a player head-to-head here. 10 KDA versus 6. In terms of gold per minute at this point, it really doesn't matter. Look at that damage, man. Impressive, almost 5,000 damage from Kusei, damage per minute. But look at Melcutie, 6,200. Let me just ask this question right now. AERO, where were you for the past 5 weeks?
They were sleeping. They were sleeping. Now, it's a 50-50. Let's see. Can Amal do it again?
ZKiv already using the...
oh, no.
Amal got caught by Smooth. Homeboy's got to protect this man. He's going to be the one to get the win. And now, look at the Lord. Amal goes for the flank. Reza almost got taken down by Smooth. Amal is in pretty... difficult situation, try to heal back by hitting the buff. I gotta say, that was very scary for Homeboys.
Yeah, extremely. Again, Smooth, he's finding these big curtain calls, and I try and rush this down, but it's a little too late. 50% and the rest of Homeboys are back in action to fight again.
Amal taking way too much damage from Smooth. He can't tank this anymore. The box is far away, but now he's coming back. Melcutie, he can deal the shots, but I don't know if Homeboys can take this. I don't know if Homeboys can take this right now. Zaman Force has been used by Kusei. Look at the Lord, look at the Lord. Hazel still gets the Lord. Amal tried to go for it, but Melcutie gets the kill over to ZKiv, and Daniel wants to fight. Daniel moves forward, flickers up, but he gets taken down in the sky. Game 11. 3 and 3.
Oh man, Amal could not get in there. He did not find the angle, and worse yet, Homeboys decided, you know what, we're giving up and we're going straight for the fight. Daniel tried his absolute best, but only ZKiv was the man to fall. There's just not enough damage from the side of Homeboys right now, even for Melcutie, especially with so much beef in the front line. Now, Kusei, he's doing an insane amount of damage.
Good luck to Homeboys to survive this onslaught. Melcutie is already half HP. They pull the Lord to the side. Amal trying to go for a hero play. Taking quite a lot of damage, but able to clear the minions. The Lord is still alive. Izanami taking a lot of damage. Minion coming in from mid. The Lord has been settled, but they can't deal with the minion wave right now. Inhibitor down in mid. Amal is very low HP. He still has the immortality. Homeboys are going for a play. Can they make it happen? No, they cannot! AERO wins 2-0.
What we were hoping for at the very end, AERO comes up on the top. They pulled it together to try to make it up, and this is going to help them try and push them over the edge. Homeboys defeated 2-0, a clean sweep by AERO, and that just means that AERO has almost just booked their tickets to the playoffs.
Homeboys needed at least one win to secure playoffs. They haven't secured just yet, but logically speaking, there's a chance that they can go to the playoff. At this point, Homeboys, they gotta use their time, Gideon, to figure out how to keep up, man, because once Lunox and Cho are out, they ran out of options.
I'm surprised that they ran out of options in this particular fashion, right? Because, again, Jushin is an interesting hero. Yes, it's a way to kind of slow them down. They could have gone for Farsa. They could have gone back into the Eve if necessary, but they wanted something that could move around, that could dance circles around their opponents. Oh,
I'm looking at Coach Theo and he's just looking at me. He's like,
man, what a day, huh?
almost like, what the hell, man?
I'm the same way. Homeboys it was an out-of-body experience. Oh.
Well, right now we got to go onto the stage because this is Homeboy's last game for the season. So Rose is going to have a talk with them before they give their bow.
Terima kasih untuk Homeboys. Itu adalah perlawanan yang sangat-sangat sengit. Kita semua rasa macam vibe Grand Final sudah. Dan setakat ini, Homeboys punya playoff slot belum lagi dipastikan. So sekarang ni, Coach, ini adalah kali pertama di mana minggu ke-6 slot Homeboys tak dipastikan lagi. Adakah sebab kita punya ekosistem semakin kompetitif ataupun ada beberapa error yang berlaku side Homeboys untuk season ini?
Okay, actually yang pertama betul lah sebab kompetisi di MPL Malaysia semakin sengit lah, semakin seru lah. Kita tim-tim semua kuat dan unpredictable lah kayak gitu. Cumanya perihal di in-game juga ada juga sebetulnya. Tadi aku nampak macam kurang chill aja sih buat eksekusi semua lah macam tu.
And of course, since ini adalah kali pertama Homeboys akan main untuk regular season playoff slot, kita tak pastikan lagi. Is there anything yang coach nak cakap kepada Flame Boys yang support you guys throughout this regular season?
Okay, buat Flame Boys semua yang sudah datang, terima kasih banyak. Selalu support kita, selalu doakan kita. Sekali lagi mohon maaf, belum boleh bagi kemenangan lah buat di match kali ini. Tapi insyaAllah kita akan perbaiki dan improve terus lah. Terima kasih.
Thank you very much, Homeboys. And I do hope that the favors end in your side dan kita boleh jumpa lagi di playoffs. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih.
Thank you. Dan of course, kalau ada pasukan yang kalah, mesti ada pasukan yang menang. Dan itu dia, AERO Esports. Come up, come up. Come on lah guys, baru menang 2-0 ni. Kenapa tak semangat? Yes! Kita ada Hazel dan juga Zikif. Now, Rose nak borak dengan Zikif dulu. Hazel nanti ya? Hazel nanti. Kejap. Mana mic? Mana mic? Coach Jazvan ambil. Kejap. Okay, borak dengan Mike Rose dulu. Kita tengok beberapa perlawanan selepas ni, AERO sangat-sangat shaky. Tapi beberapa match yang sebelum ni, like 2-3 matches, kenapa korang nampak macam flip Apa yang jadi sebenarnya dalam AERO that made you guys so good suddenly? Tiba-tiba je.
Rahsia dia ada dekat Panda.
Oh, rahsia dia Panda. Kenapa? Cuba share sikit apa Panda ni buat.
Sekarang Panda tak main-main lah. Kalau kita control ke apa, dia terus...
Oi! Oi, Panda. Not good not good Dia memang marah
Ya.
Tinggal cerita dulu, Panda ni garam, betul ke?
Betul.
Dia selalu marah siapa dalam tim?
Hazel.
Oh no, Hazel degil ke?
Betul.
I see. Zikif dia tak marah?
Tak, saya budak baik.
Oh, budak baik. Now, musim lepas, AERO kalah dengan Homeboys. Exactly the same way korang kalahkan dorang hari ini. 2-0. You rasa macam dah achieve your revenge match tak? Ke belum lagi?
Rasa biasa je.
Rasa biasa je?
Sebab season lepas tu, first match, tak tahu lah, macam tak main betul-betul.
Tak main betul-betul lah. So, kali ni macam memang inilah AERO yang sebenar.
Betul.
Macam tu. And of course, tadi you lawan your ex-teammate, Reza. Apa perasaan lawan Reza on opposing team pula sekarang ni?
Rasa nak kasihan tak boleh kan. Sebab dia sendiri pun nak tak nak lepas playoff. Tapi rasa bersyukur lah. Nampak dia pun berkembangan dekat tim baru. Saya wish dia the best lah.
Oh, comelnya. And of course, harap Homeboys boleh mendapatkan satu mata yang hopefully Homeboys boleh mendapatkan slot mereka ke playoffs dan hopefully rematch. Nak rematch terang tak? Tak nak?
Boleh.
Boleh.
Nak,
sengit
nak
kan game tadi?
Betul.
Betul, best. Macam rasa grand finals.
Betul.
Nah, tadi kita sudah saksikan perlawanan yang sangat-sangat kemas daripada AERO, tapi hanya seorang yang boleh menjadi MVP of the game. So, mari kita tengok MVP of the game in 3, 2, 1. MVP jatuh kepada Kim. Alright Kim, come up on stage. Uish. Kim MVP hari ni. Okay, make space. Okay. Hi Kim.
Hi.
How are you today?
Good.
Good. Dia cakap panda apa ni? Panda garang, betul ke?
Wish garang.
Garang?
Garang ah.
Dia selalunya cakap apa?
Ish. Kau ni main damage dia tak tahu damage. Hero damage kau tak main match lah. Main tu lah.
Oh macam tu?
Macam tu.
Oh, so tapi kita nampak hasil kalau orang garang. Now, Homeboys, lepas korang menang Homeboys 2-0, Homeboys punya slot ke playoffs masih lagi confirm. Korang ada satu match lagi untuk esok di mana korang akan jumpa Team Ray.
Team Ray.
Korang akan clean sweep ke ataupun main santai-santai aja? So, Homeboys boleh masuk ke playoff. Reza boleh masuk ke playoff.
Kita orang akan betul-betul lah sebab kita orang nak dapat momentum kalau kita orang masuk playoff nanti lah. Kalau boleh kita nak clean sweep 2-0 esok.
Clean sweep 2-0 esok. Tak silap bros, kalau korang mendapatkan clean sweep esok, chances are super duper high untuk AERO layak ke playoffs.
Yeah.
Rasa confident?
Confident.
Untuk lawan Team Ray esok?
InsyaAllah confident.
Very good. Now of course Hazel. Thank you Kim. Last week Rose borak dengan Hazel and I tanya you apa perasaan you lawan Daniel sebab dua-dua daripada RQ and you cakap I nak bantai Hazel. I nak bantai Daniel. Hari ni dapat bantai dia, rasa puas tak?
Puas sebab tadi pun sebelum match dia beria. Dia cakap apa kalau nak menang hantar QR kata dia.
Oh. Tapi kalah hari ni.
Tapi dia kalah.
Mau pesan apa dekat Daniel?
Apa?
Mau cakap apa dekat Daniel?
Cakap apa? Tak ada lah. Good luck aja buat playoff.
Buat good luck aja. And of course, apa yang you rasa pasal prestasi Homeboys sekarang ni? You rasa ini Homeboys yang sebenarkah ataupun Homeboys yang kurang disiplin, kurang something?
Actually kita memang banyak buat preparation untuk match ini sebab ya ini match penentuan kita orang. Lepas tu kita orang ada plan juga nak bantai Homeboys dekat playoff nanti.
Nak rematch?
Nah, rematch
Kenapa
lagi.
Kenapa geram sangat dengan Homeboys? Boleh je geram dengan pasukan lain. Kenapa Homeboys?
Tak, sebab ada Reza je.
Speaking of Reza, minggu lepas di stage interview Reza cakap dia sangat-sangat nak jumpa AERO. Dan dia cakap kenapa tu dia akan cakap lepas menang lah, tapi dia tak menang. So, Hazel, kenapa nak bantai Reza?
Kenapa nak bantai Reza? Sebab ex-teammate je.
Tu je? Tak ada beef, tak ada bad blood?
Tak ada, tak ada spicy.
Tak ada, okay tak ada spicy. Dia budak humble, dia perlukan kemenangan lagi untuk esok. Tadi I could see the families of AERO and of course your buff tengah jerit-jerit lepas menang. Anything yang you nak cakap?
Makasih buat family Amy, buat semua yang udah datang, yang udah sokong aku, thank you. Buat Mama Kim juga, semua yang dukung AERO, thank you.
Thank you very much AERO. Congratulations atas kemenangan hari ini. Dan itu dia match terakhir untuk hari pertama. With that, let us right back to the casters.
And there you have it. Thank you again, Rose. Give it up for our MVP of this game. Oh my God. Kim was playing and keeping this game sealed tight. He even sold his boots for all intents and purposes, despite getting chased down time and time again by a jungle Benedetta.
I mean, we did say that Kim is the rock for AERO, and I gotta say, it looked like he locked in even harder for this match because even in the previous game, he did very, very well. Dude. Kim's the man. He is. Kim's the man.
He's that guy.
He's the guy.
He's that guy. And worse yet, I don't know, something about Homeboys in game number 1 definitely didn't sit right with me, right? It didn't feel like they were back in the shape and form that we saw for the past couple of weeks. In game number 2, we got to see a little bit of that, that creativity, that fluidity that they were known for. However, the composition doesn't exactly scale as hard in comparison to what AERO brought to the table.
I don't know, the way that they play, it looks like they had diarrhea. Actually, let me correct myself. I don't play like that. If I have diarrhea, usually I would just do whatever I can to end the game. Either I lose or I win. As long as it's quick.
As long as it's fast. But man, that one was a really, really tough one. And not to
Lighting's
mention,
different here.
I mean, I think it has to. Oh, you're absolutely right. Wait, where did that one come from? Here. Spotlight. It's a different spotlight. Either way, at the end of it all, I think there is a bit of an issue with the meta as of right now.
There's gonna be... Okay, next week, hot fix, number 1. But later down the line, and maybe in 1 or 2 weeks, there's gonna be a patch. We'll see. Homeboys, can they recover? Can they? I don't know.
Let's have a bit of a hot takes. Come, pull the camera over in just a little bit. You'll know when it starts with the minute timer here.
Let me set it up.
Oh, thank you. Thank you,
there
sir.
we go.
Great. Now, amazingly enough, we've seen that the meta has kind of diversified from what we're used to since the previous seasons. But this time round, we're coming to an absolutely brand new problem. Number one, the mid lane. How many picks do we actually have? Same goes for EXP. As much as we've seen different diversities, we don't get to see as many matchups as we would like to, mainly because of supports. Now, I know you give me a bit of that face, and of course pick-off compositions and team fights are definitely well. However, executing a lot of these compositions really boil down to the draft. And when we're talking about the meta that's demanding for a lot of mid-priority, a lot of prio in your lanes, and winning matchups, does that mean team fighting has become a stale idea? And even with the jungle, right? With so many different types of assassins to get here and there, why aren't we seeing late scaling heroes be more prioritized? Why don't we see Ling get shown more often than not? I think it's because of these pick-off heroes. They need to go. They need to get nerfed to the ground.
And that's your hot take. And honestly, I don't mind.
You want to play Minotaur and Lolita all over again, right?
Oh, dude.
Right?
I want Mino. I want Lolita. I actually wouldn't mind once in a while. Let me just use a high loss.
Yeah.
I don't have to think. I just walk, and then I see my assists rack up.
Yep. That's the thing. I feel like right now...
I actually don't like playing catch that much.
Really?
Because look at our party, man.
Oh,
you know how
true.
demoralizing it is when you catch someone, and it's so cool. You use your flicker and everything, and then they're just like, nah. They're there. They just don't do anything about it.
That's the thing. I feel like right now the current meta game is very, as much as I don't want to 100% say that it's pick-off oriented, but definitely these fights are pretty much done quite decisively, right? It's all about finding that instant impact. And at the end of the day, there's a lot of heroes out there that kind of sort of fit that bill, but not exactly. I think Benedetta is a really good example of like, oh yeah, you want an assassin, but we need mobility more than anything else to get in and out of the pit, more than actually securing objectives at the end of the day, which is why Lancelot is in meta and not Benedetta as much.
Yeah, we're going to see how it shakes up because honestly, between the both of us, we really don't know what the next patch is going to be. We roughly know about the hotfix, but again, that's just a small patch, right? We don't know the bigger picture because honestly, for homeboys, it does really look like they're tunnel visioning, especially on this Hilda. And I just, for the life of me, I can't figure it out.
Me neither. I really don't get it. Like, I understand it's like a 2-on-2 style of strategy of like, oh yeah, we're going to let MLQT, Daniel, as well as Izanami kind of do their own thing. If they find that catch, sure. But Reza can either help MLQT or Amal, and that's sort of it. That's all he kind of does. He is a bit of disruption, but who is he really disrupting at the end of the day? Kusei isn't going to get disrupted by it.
Yeah.
Hazel isn't going to get disrupted by it. Even Kim as well. Yeah. It's like, oh, you're on top of me, but you don't cancel my autos, right?
It's not my hot take, but I feel like every single team has a draft that focuses on early game pressure. Doesn't work in Malaysia unless your name is SRG, right? Because Yum's on that Hilda, he made it work. But again, it is against an assassin, right? Because the thing about SRG, there's a time and place for everything.
Yep.
They know when to execute it. Where other teams, it does look like a little bit forced. Because look at, in MPL ID, one of the more contested and hotly banned picked is the Angela.
Yep.
In Malaysia, we do ban it, sure. But we don't win a lot with it because we don't execute. I would say we're very good at defending against early game pressure. Even if you do have a good early game, we can neutralize it. That's one of the specialties here in Malaysia. So going for a pick like Hilda, where you're really wanting to get 6,000 goals, 7,000 goal by 6-7 minutes, it doesn't work in Malaysia, man.
Yeah, it doesn't work in Malaysia as often. I think the one thing that we have improved as a region is definitely our turtle fights. I think we saw very dynamic fights between AERO and Homeboys because, again, it's a really complicated situation, right? You know that you can't stop Benedetta from getting into the pit itself, so you have to like kind of time your retries. You gotta like, they figured it out at the very end that just let Smooth curtain call him and force him away, and that's the only time that you can almost guarantee the Lord, and even then, it's still a bit of a coin toss.
I can't believe that in this season I get to see Smooth on Esmeralda and CC.
Yep.
I feel proud.
I mean, at least he gets to play the game, right?
Yeah.
At least he's found a team that's like, okay, you know what? We actually can let you not just get shafted in the game itself, and you can provide a lot of value. But I gotta give it to MLQT. Despite everything that happened, he was getting a good amount of damage done and still farming at a pretty alarming rate. Keep in mind that this game was 26 minutes long, and a lot of the time, it was fighting around the Lord pit.
Yeah. It was just unfortunate because Hilda just doesn't do anything in the late game. Even with that Blade of Heptases, you can't burst down Kim. And it's not for the lack of trying, Gideon. They tried a lot.
They tried so much.
Hylos was just a wall. The Boxia was just a wall.
Yeah.
Giving the Life Bane, the slow coming in from the Hylos, a stun, and the longer you stay in the Ring of Punishment, guess what? You're gonna get punished. Minotaur, if he's a good, he can be a dominatrix, but still, I don't know, man.
It's tough.
Good job on ZK for protecting Kim all the time.
No, I think that at least between Hazel and as well as ZK, they played really, really well with each other, making sure that the bubble doesn't really get bursted as often. The only times they do lose those fights is when it gets cut in half, right? Let's look at the gold graph here, because AERO, again, was not winning until past the 18-minute mark. A majority of this lead, and the biggest lead by far, happened right by 14 minutes or so. 14, 15 minutes is when we see the 5k lead by Homeboys' side, but they needed to start winning by the 9th minute, if not harder than that. Because there's just too many times I'm trading turrets in other sides of the map when really I should be winning just as hard from the beginning, from the start to the finish.
I guess something that we can be proud here in MPL Malaysia is just that we're good at equalizing, right? No matter how bad of an early game we have, one way or the other, we'll find an opportunity.
It's an opportunity. I don't know whether Homeboys draft doesn't allow them to give,
I would go for that.
Or is it like we just have to let it go, right? If we want our comp to work, we just gotta let certain objectives die out.
I really think it's the first one. I don't know how Scrims is looking right, but this is their final game. They will be able to watch Saturday without any stress, Sunday without any stress, watch other MPLs without really any stress, maybe give the 3 days off and then go back to training. At that point, they should have a fresh perspective of the meta, especially whatever changes that's going to happen later on.
Could this be burnout? Could this be burnout for the Homeboys?
Maybe.
Because I feel like they play like decently well overall. I mean, like the early game was looking great. I love the fact that Amal has a Benedetta in his back pocket, but just look at these dives specifically towards Smooth. They knew exactly what they wanted to do.
I kind of feel like diversify, because right now, in terms of the tools that they have, it is team fight and it is flanking. In a way, catch, I guess, but mostly the flanking, right? They need more arsenal, especially going to the playoffs, where your goal is gonna eventually be the champions, and that means going up against SRG. And SRG is a Swiss Army knife. They have everything.
They kind of got everything down. I'm curious to see whether MelQT will ever bring back the sorry, not the Benedetta, but the Beatrix, because I think it's just one of the few matchups that actually you can now start playing on his side of the map because he has the raw damage, right? I feel like right now Homeboys have kind of funneled their outlets to very limiting sources rather than kind of opening it up to find more options in the fights, because every single time it breaks out the exact same way.
My theory right now is Homeboys tunnel vision on their draft, where they basically say there's no way that Hazel's going to be using a tank, because their draft, you know, Kalia alongside with the Hilda and even the Benedetta kind of shows that they want to punish any kind of squishy frontline, meaning assassin or fighter, right? So I feel like they tunnel vision on this, and it's weird because it's not like they don't see the box yet. They see the box yet. Box was second pick, and they still pick up the Hilda. So maybe less flexibility in the draft, which is something that Jesvin can definitely work on.
Yeah, I don't know. It just feels strange because this is like a meta we've seen like all of last season even. How are we not comfortable dealing with it coming into this particular game? And it's not like the bans were like super significant to the point where it's unplayable, right? For all intents and purposes, we could have made a pivot at any moment of time for the side of the Homeboys. So, I don't know. It's a weird off day for them for sure. I think that's what we can basically chalk it up to. But I'm excited for AERO because now they've got a one hell of a chance. They've got, what, one more game left against Team Ray?
Yeah.
Oh.
We're going to be looking at the standings here, and we still have a chance for a 5-way tie, Gideon.
Really?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
But instead of 2-1-ing SRG, just got a 2-0.
Just beat them.
Just beat them.
Just flat out beat them.
They're only like second place in the last MSC.
Yeah, it's not like they had 2 perfect runs already for the past 2 seasons without dropping a single series. So I'm just saying it's going to be a hard one. Currently, SRG still on top, but after today's changes, oh my goodness, look at that. MV, Untitled, AERO, all at 12 points.
So if AERO gets a 2-0 and then Untitled gets a 2-0, then they're tied, man. Right, they're tied for 15 points.
What if MV loses?
Yeah, exactly. If
MV loses as
everything, if MV loses if MV lose and then wins, towards they get 15 points, and then Untitled AERO gets 15 points, and Homeboys right now is 15 points. Homeboys, that's the final score that they can have. And if Vamos wins once against CG, also grabbing 15 points,
and then still loses,
it could be a 15-point mania. Gideon.
Oh my god!
Untitled just gotta beat SRG. Look at this. SRG is 8-0. Time to make it 8-1.
8-1, baby. Just put him at 16-5.
If GMX can do it, GMX is number 10. You're number 6. For sure you can do it.
Dude, that's so stressful. That's so stressful. Look at the scoreline.
Get in. Are you working on Sunday?
I'm not working on Sunday, luckily. But Saturday is already going to look real difficult. Let's look at the forecast right now, because based on what we see, this is what it's starting to look like.
We don't know. So we just put everyone.
We just slapped everybody.
Everyone's there.
Wow.
Oh,
that's so funny. But you know what the funnier forecast is?
What?
Look, CG, MV, upper brackets, but they could be in the lower brackets.
Yeah.
Whoever has to will face off against either Untitled or AERO. No chance of going to the upper brackets at all.
And then there's SRG.
And then there's SRG, who's just not even close.
You're like, okay, this one is easy. Now the rest. Right? The graphic designer asked the boss, and then the boss is just like,
just slap them all in.
It's like, hey, you're the boss. Pop. Everyone's there.
Good lord. We have no idea how this is going to progress.
MPL MY is interesting, man.
Yeah, it finally is interesting. It took 16 seasons to get to this point?
Not that long.
Oh, yeah, not that long.
8 years? 8 years, yeah, 8 years, yeah. 8 years is nothing, man.
8 years is nothing, they say. Oh my goodness. It's crazy.
I've been here for 6 years.
Oh, it's crazy to imagine. It's crazy to imagine that this is that it's come to this point. And I think at least by the end of this weekend, we're going to get a better and clearer picture, at the very least, of how this bracket forecast is going to look like. But with that being said, we have tomorrow's schedule. This Saturday is where we get to see that magnifying lens. Starting off with GMXK up against MV. It's possible. Who knows? CG facing off against Vamos. Also possible. Who knows? TR versus AERO. I mean, AERO's got to win this one.
Vamos, if MV wants to go to the upper bracket, Vamos needs to win 2-0. Because if CG gets 1 point,
it's done for them.
It's done. Yeah. Upper brackets.
Upper brackets secure. I'm surprised that it took all the way until week 6 to figure out who the second upper bracket member is going to be. I thought
even SRG took a while.
I mean, SRG did take a while, but that's because of the schedule of the games. Teams like CG and Homeboys, whereas they're literally just one series win and they're already there. It took them this long. They kept on dropping games, dude.
Shoutouts to the people that beat them, though.
Yeah.
Right. Upper bracket. Vamos needs to win for MV upper bracket. If AERO drops the ball against Team Ray,
they can't, right?
And then Untitled stomps SRG.
Ooh.
Untitled goes playoff.
Time to go to playoff.
Imagine it's like, hey, good news and bad news.
Good news and bad news.
Good news, you can go to the playoff.
Bad news, you gotta beat SRG.
Yeah.
It's just, it's not easy. It's not easy, but if it does happen, I think you guys better buy those tickets. Buy them now while you still can, because who knows what kind of a storyline is about to progress by the end of this week. Untitled makes it to playoffs, smashing SRG. What is that going to mean for the ecosystem?
If SRG wants to psych them out, right? Be like, let me just show you a website. It tells how much we've earned so far. Let's see how much SRG has earned. Do you think you can beat us? Dude, SRG has been here for just a year plus.
We blame EWC for that. EWC.
They're top.
They're top notch.
They're just like, we just win 2 or 3 tournaments and then that's it. It's not that hard.
Hey, we want to know what you have to what you have to tell us. What you think of the MPL MY Season 16? Scan that QR code, because we want to know exactly what you think about not only the broadcasting, what you think about the stage, what you think about the state of the game, what you think about us here on the broadcast, whether it be English or BM. Everything listed down by scanning that QR. With that being said, we're going to be wrapping up up today. It's only day number 1. More MLBB action to have. It's LaFell and Getting Q here at the desk. Thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Here's the mic check. Good night and goodbye.
Ini tuh. Nih. Mati. Aku depan masih bisain double. Masih ada. Ya, fokus guys. Anyone. TG target, bro. Tengok. Ada puri. Mati. Belakang sih, belakang. Sabar guys. Fokus. Gua aman. Ghost turn. Sepek sih. Ayo sih, sepek dulu. Udah. Malam. Gak ada boleh. S1. Akhirnya menang lagi, yeay. Karin ulti. Mau perang. Ada. Gas.
Ghost turn 1. Dari depan. Target tiga.
Depan.
Karinnya sekarang ya. Cici dulu.
Cici dulu.
Tata main.
Let's go guys, let's go.
Gua paksa.
Dapat lo. Aku pegang hari nih.
Oh, sorry ya, free.
Guys.
Oh, sorry dia free. Sudah.
Kapal ya?
Tengok Mel. Aku tahu.
Balik. Ayo, dapat lah kan?
Dapat.
Siap maju ya.
Aku buat clean jauh.
Kusing nggak ada zaman guys.
Aman. Tengok gua.
Bola. Back. Kau tinggal base bro. Balik je. Dia ulti gua. Aman jangan tinggal. Ada zaman.
Oke. Sama gua aman.
Fokus zaman. Fokus zaman.
Cycle.
Boleh. Masuk boleh.
Penalti guys.
Depan. Mina masuk. Aku tahu.
Mina up
Mina masuk. Boleh tahu tak?
Bisa.
Boleh.
Tahu.